Reminder to all the audiences, please ensure that your mics are switched off at all times during our workshop. The link for the attendance form will be provided in the chat box at the end of today's workshop. You are encouraged to open the camera for more interaction with us, and our workshop will start soon. Thank you. Abu Bakar, and I will be responsible for hosting this session throughout the evening. Before we start, I would remind you to mute your mic to prevent causing any interruption during the ongoing sessions. If you have any questions in the event, leave questions in the chat box. We will collect and convey your questions to the speaker during Q&A sessions later. For the first session today, entitled Be a Good Resume Writer, we have an interesting session for all of you who are fortunate enough to be joining us. First of all, let me introduce a little bit about our special guest today, who is Miss Ayu Shahirah Salim. All right. Miss Ayu is UI or UX designer at Batu Pahat. She graduated from University Technology Pertanas, UTP, with a first class degree in May 2020 under the course of Information Technology, majoring in software engineering with business management. For your information, she begins to offer resume review and career talk to guide graduates that for job hunting in return for her gratitude as she managed to secure her dream job during the pandemic. So without delaying any further, please welcome Miss Shahirah Salim onto this.
Everyone, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can anyone
Yes.
confirm whether you guys can hear me? All right, okay. All right. Okay, hello. So, yep, thank you for joining us today. And also thank you for spending your valuable weekend time just to listen to knowledge that will help you with your career. Okay, so today, before I start, I want to introduce myself. Okay, let me introduce myself again. So I think it's much nicer if you know me from myself, right? Okay, so let me share my screen. Can you see my screen? Wait. Can anyone see my screen? If it's okay, then committee, can you say this? Okay, I'm so sorry if I a bit blur because like I don't really use WebEx, but hopefully I can do better. All right. Okay. So my name is Ayu Shahirah Salim. By the way, you can see my CV, right? Give a thumbs up if you can, if you're able to see my CV. All right, good. Okay, so my name is Ayu Shahirah Salim. I work as a software engineer, like what they said before. So my hometown is I grew up in Miri Sarawak, but then right now I'm living in Bangsa South, Kuala Lumpur. So as you can see here, I'm quite active on LinkedIn, and at the same time, I'm also currently doing part-time PhD in information technology. So my specialization for my PhD will be, my research is about machine learning and also artificial intelligence. Okay, next. So these are some of my things that I achieved during my university, and also mostly during last year, and also yep, some of it were from my degree time. Okay. So for my educational background, I graduated on May 2020 from University Technology Petronas. Alhamdulillah, I got first class degree during that time. So I managed to skip master. So as you can see here, I don't have master. So that's why directly continuing my study in PhD. Okay. I did my internship. Wait, let me go a bit down. Okay, so I did my internship in ExxonMobil. So for those who never heard of ExxonMobil or maybe the company that I work right now, you can search top oil and gas company in the world. As you can see here, my company is, okay, this is the place where I intern, where I did my internship for 8 months, and then this is the current company that I'm working with, all right? Okay, so I work as a email engineer before, and yeah, some of you might not never heard of email engineer before. So um, we help people. We help the companies to make sure that the server is doing good, make sure that the email itself, people able to receive and send email based on real time, something like that. So basically, it's the back end of it. It's not like you need to send or receive email only. Okay. And then during my after my internship, I managed to be friend with a lots of HR. And then because I really want to secure a job in oil and gas after I graduated, right? So I asked them, what should I do differently from the other fresh grads in order for me to confirm myself to be in oil and gas company. So what they suggested me and what they advised me is that um, I should apply as soon as possible. Meaning to say, I no need to wait until I graduated. I need to apply as soon as possible. Why? Because usually the big companies, right? They usually need extra time to do the recruitment process. Just imagine, right? When you wanna go for Petronas, for example, um, one position, sometimes there's a lot of people applying for it. Just imagine like this one position, you need to compete with like 100 applicants, right? So it's very hard for you to just apply after graduation, because just imagine for them to filter out these 100 applicants, they need to have extra time. So if you just applying your job after your graduation, then you will be having a little bit of unemployment period. So I don't want that. Okay. I took the advice, and then I started to apply job exactly after my internship. So which is like a year before I graduated. Okay, so during that time I did a lot of mistakes. So like I failed my interview a lot, and then I did something wrong with my resume and all. So from that itself, I was able to improve myself and learn from the mistake. So eventually, alhamdulillah, I got an offer from DHL a semester before I graduated. So I worked there for 2 months as a software engineer. And then after that, on August 2020, I managed to get a job in my current company, which is BP. Okay, so BP used to known as British Petroleum, but right now it's just BP. So um, it's a company, it's an oil and gas company. For example, like we have Petronas for Malaysia, right? So BP is more like BP is like people know BP for UK. All right. So it's a UK company. All right. Next. Okay, I'm currently under digital graduate program. So this digital graduate program is a 2 years rotational program. It's a permanent job. So the first year you will need to, they will assign you a role, an IT role, and then after that, the next rotation, after 1 year of working, they will assign you to another role. Okay, so within these 2 years, you will able to learn something differently within that 2 years. So after the 2 years finish, then they will assign you to a position. All right. So I used to be a data engineer last year, and then right now I'm currently UI UX designer. So on August I'll be graduating from my job, and then yeah, and see how I'm not sure what will be my next journey. Yep. Okay. So that's basically my my background. Okay, so for today itself, we're going to we're going to discuss, and also I'm going to share more about how to transition yourself efficiently exactly after your graduation, and exactly after when you finish your study. So I will cover the first thing would be the resume itself, and then after resume, maybe we can cover a little bit about LinkedIn, how to apply job, and then we go for a little bit of interview, and at the same time maybe cover later, something like that. Okay, so we go one by one. Okay, we have quite a lot of time today. All right. Okay, so let me open another. Okay. Can everyone see my LinkedIn? Okay, good. It's easier for me to look at it. All right. Okay, so most people, right, we have a problem of okay, most of us, we have problem of knowing what's the difference between resume and CV, right? Because people, there's no one that ever explained to us really, okay, what is the difference, right? So usually fresh grad, they are very confused. Should I do CV or should I do resume? So today I want to share with you what's the difference between resume, vs CV. So, okay, just imagine, if you, what? Okay, just imagine if you're looking at a movie, right? Okay, you just imagine CV is like the movie itself, but resume is more like the trailer. Okay, so meaning to say like trailer. Why I say your resume is a trailer? Because resume should be maximum only 2 pages. Okay, maximum 2 pages. Okay, even though you're very high performer, your resume should be maximum 2 pages. But if it's a CV, you can do as long as you want. I think it's too small. Okay, so that's the difference between having a resume and also having a CV. All right, this one. Okay, and then for resume itself, usually in Malaysia, for fresh graduate, we don't really use CV because you want to do a movie, right? But then you don't have working experience first. All right, so you need to gather, you need to gain the experience, then you can do a CV. So let's say if you want to start applying for a job, make sure you apply using resume, which is only maximum 2 pages. All right. Okay, so today we let me help you with the googling a lot, okay, so that you can also know how to that one how to differentiate. Okay, so usually when people start to want to do resume, what will they do is to find a template. Okay, so but then the problem with it is that we usually just Google, right, this, right, and then when we Google it, we will find this kind of format. You see, this kind of format. Okay, they have, okay, what's the problem with this kind of format? Open it. Okay, as you can see here, there's a lot of icon, and then it's not really it's not really the most effective template. And if you send this kind of resume, there's a possibility that the company will reject your resume. Why? Because we cannot, the system itself cannot read your resume. Okay, nowadays, when you apply for job, especially those that are coming from from a big companies, right, at the first stage they don't ask, usually they will not, usually they not it will not be the HR that will scan your resume. Okay, it will be filtered out by a system we call application tracking system. So what does application tracking system do? So you send your resume, right, at their website, or maybe you send through email or something, and then after that they will look at your resume, and then they will try to match. Okay, the system will try to match this resume with the requirement given by the company itself. Okay, for example, okay, a company want a fresh graduate that know how to do JavaScript, for example, right? And then that JavaScript, they will need to find that particular keyword in your resume. So the more keywords that you cover, the better the chance that you gonna get your interview, something like that. But what's the problem with this kind of resume? uh, the system will not be able to identify your keyword. Okay, it's like us doing our assignment, right? So usually what will you do when you do assignment? So you will control F, right? So usually when you control F, those wording that is those wording that are in graphic, that are in picture, you'll not be able to find it. And also those words that are near to the icon, for example, like this. Sometimes sometimes Control F are not able to identify this kind of words because it's very near to the image. So a good resume should be very simple, should be boring, and very less graphic. So the only picture that you need to have in your resume should only be your face. All right. Not sure how to hide this. Wait. Yeah, that thingy. All right, let me open here. Okay, duplicate. So let me share with you one sample that is very good. Okay, okay. I think it's much faster if I just share a very good resume. Okay, so you can see and you are able to um, directly refer to his resume once you need to do your resume. Okay, I will give you the link. So make sure you guys keep the link. It's very important. Okay. All right. Okay. Can you see Muhammad Farhan Hassan's LinkedIn? Okay, cool. All right. Thank you, Joanna. All right. So this is how a good resume looks like. Okay. It is very simple. As you can see, it's very direct. You are able to see all of the word and also we provide the HR enough spacing for them to scan your resume. Okay, remember, people don't really read your resume. Most of them, they scan your resume. Okay, what's the difference between scanning and also reading? Reading will need more time. Scanning is like 7 to 10 seconds only. So if you are not able to catch their attention, then they will just move on and then they will go to the next candidates. All right. So make sure that your resume is scan friendly, eye friendly, and it's not really packed. All right. That's why I always encourage people to do this kind of resume. Okay, let's go through one by one. Okay. So the first thing is picture. Okay. Some people they feel like, oh, I don't want to put picture because I feel like some people discriminate. They don't want to hire Malay girls. They don't want to hire Chinese people. Don't want to hire Indians. Okay, it's okay. Why? So that you will be able to filter out your future employer. Okay, meaning to say, let's say if that person cannot accept who we are, how we look, right? Then later, let's say if they hire you and then they give you a very bad and also toxic environment, then you feel stressed, right? So then you need to still applying for a new job. So for me, I think in my own opinion, it's better to put picture so that we can filter out all of this kind of toxic companies that are racist. Okay, those who hire us already know how we look, and then they don't mind with how we look. Okay, and it's much easier to do that if compared to them. It's much easier to filter something like that instead of us being choosy on the company itself. All right. Um, Okay, next is also, if you don't put your picture, they're still able to Google you. Okay, let's say if I Google myself right now, so I put my name here. Are you Shahirah Salim? It's a okay. You can see there's a lot of picture of mine. So even though I feel like, oh, I want to be low profile, or maybe I just don't want to show my face to people, they're still able to see your profile in your Instagram, maybe TikTok or something like that. So why not just put it? All right. And also it's good for branding as well. They know that the person that applying for a job is a real person. It's not a scammer, because for us also we're scared of scammer, right? Same goes to the recruiter as well. Some people they scam the employers and then they take the company's money and all, right? Okay, so I would suggest you to put picture. Okay, a good resume picture would be a picture that has a plain background. Okay, it doesn't matter what kind, for me, it doesn't matter what color it is, as long as it's plain. And also try to find a picture that is when you look forward, okay, because they're able to see the whole part of your face. Okay, if you look at the side, then the other side they cannot see, right? And then try to use a formal attire. Okay, you don't use like dress that is too revealing, or maybe you use a very modest attire, but then that attire is too colorful. For example, you're wearing like yellow kind of like shirt or something. Okay, try to find something that is natural. The color is not too prominent. Okay, make it formal. All right. Okay, next is this is what we call contact section. Okay, so contact session. Okay, what the first thing you need to put is your name. Okay, so put your name here. Okay, make sure you make it big. Okay, it's like a title for yourself. And then after that, you can also already list down your address, phone, email, and LinkedIn. Okay, for address itself, don't ever put your full address, because we never know what, maybe somebody look at your address and then suddenly they send you something, or they want to kidnap you or something like that, right? Okay, so just put city and also state. Okay, why do we need to put city? So that they know, okay, this Farhan is living in Kluang, Johor. So let's say if they want him to work in KL, of course they will ask, okay, are you willing to relocate? Are you willing to travel, right? Okay, so if you put city, it's already enough. Okay, city and also state. Okay, next is phone number. Of course, it's important, because later when they want to hire you, they need to contact you, right? Okay, next is email. Okay, email should be clickable, okay, because it's a link. All right, so when you make it clickable like this, they don't have to copy and then paste. They just need to click, and then the email will come out. Okay, make sure that your email is a link. All right, same goes to LinkedIn as well. So they just need to click, and then automatically your LinkedIn will come out. Okay, my suggestion would be, make sure when you do a LinkedIn, when you build your LinkedIn, try to use similar picture with your resume. Okay, so when they open your LinkedIn, they know, okay, this is the person that I'm looking at right now. Okay, they don't have to like they don't have to they don't have to like wonder, like, is this the right person, because they look different. This one a little bit big, this one a little bit small, maybe this one looks like uncle, but then another one looks like very baby like that. So we don't want that kind of things to happen, right? Okay, so make sure you use same picture. Okay, easy for them to look at your LinkedIn. And it's also very important to provide your LinkedIn link, because 93% of recruiters nowadays, based on LinkedIn research, look through the candidate through LinkedIn, especially, and also the other social media by Googling them. All right. So make sure you prepare your LinkedIn as well. All right. Okay. Once you already finish your contact section and also put your very fabulous picture, then we will need to put objective. Okay, what should we put in the objective? So objective, there are three sentences that you need to put. So the first sentence is like just a summary about yourself, and then after that, the second sentence will be what kind of job that you want to apply for. So it's like aspiring to seek for an entry level engineering, maybe aspiring to seek for manager project manager position in your organization, something like that. So you need to let the recruiters know what you're applying. Okay, they don't have to ask you again, or maybe let's say if they misplace your, for example, right, if they accidentally misplace your resume, they still know, okay, Farhan is applying for internship position, something like that, right? So they don't have to keep on calling you or something like that. It make their life hassle, right? Okay, next is your availability. Okay, when are you able to start working? Okay, for Farhan, he able to start working on 1st March 2021. Okay, make sure you put this date, or maybe if you don't have date, you can put the month, and try to bold it, because it's very important. Okay, because they want to know when are you going to join the company, right? Okay, next, as a fresh graduate, you should start with educational background. Okay, you don't put working experience first, because you don't have experience yet, right? So your education background is the highest priority when they want to hire you. Okay, so when you do your educational background, try to arrange it based on reverse chronology. So meaning to say the one that is latest should be up, followed by the previous one. So let's say if you're doing PhD, then the PhD should be the first one. If you're doing master, master should be the first one. Let's say if you're doing a degree right now, then your degree should be the first one, and then followed by the others. Okay. Do you need to put your SPM? Where do you do your SPM? If you want to put, you can put. But if you feel like, oh, this one just menyemak, I don't want to put, also can. All right. As long as you have the latest one and also the previous one. Okay. Two should be okay. Okay. Two should be enough. Okay. Okay. So as you can see here, make sure that you're using a very consistent format. Okay. The first thing you need to put is the institution name. Okay. And then the next one would be the date itself, the time period where you study, and then your course. And then let's say if your result is more than 3.0, you must put it. Okay, why? Because some of the companies, for example, especially the big one, right? Let's say if you have a performer, if you put your, they have the requirement of like, okay, I want a student that have at least 3 CGPA, 3.5, for example, right? So if you don't put your CGPA, they'll not be able to know that you're doing well or not in your study. Okay, but then if your CGPA is 3.0 below, it's okay to not put it. Okay, because they might not be considering you at all or something like, or they feel like, oh, I have a better candidate, something like that. Okay, so 3.0 above, go ahead, put it. All right. And why it is important to put your result is because from there itself, usually, you know, when the recruiters try to hire you, right? They don't know you on personal level. They don't know how you work. For example, if people want to hire me, they don't know, okay, are you is good or not doing work? There's a lot of question in their head, right? So the only thing that they can measure that have solid number is your result. So from your result itself, they show the recruiters how you work. What is your work ethic? Do you really prioritize your performance or something like that? So if you're still studying right now, make sure to try get the highest CGPA that you can get. Okay, let's say right now, okay, I'm still my CGPA is only 3. Then you need to work hard so that, because your CGPA will also be one of the things that people look at to decide whether they want to hire you or not. It's not like I'm saying that, okay, if you have a very bad CGPA, you cannot get a job. You can, but those who have a very high CGPA, you have a better option. You have more option if compared to those who have a lower CGPA. Okay, because there's a lot of companies, they have that requirement. And the good thing about having good CGPA, you're able to go for companies that can pay you above average of fresh graduate salary. So currently, average salary of a fresh graduate is around 2.5. Okay, if you have a very good CGPA, you can go up to 8,000. You're starting. Okay, there's a lot of companies that are able to pay until 8,000 ringgit for a fresh grad without any experience. So I hope those who are still studying, make sure you focus on your study and then try to get the highest GPA that you can. Okay, I described too long for the CGPA. All right, okay, next. Okay, once you already put this one, make sure you arrange it like this, okay? There's a reason why I designed the format to be like this is because, okay, why you put your university and your course at the left side and then your date at the right side is because our eye movement is from left to right, right? So meaning to say, they will read University Tun Hussein on and also your Bachelor of Electrical Engineering first, and then they will look at this date. Okay, this date is important, but it's less important if compared to this kind of information. So we want them to grab their attention to read this first rather than the date. Okay, that's why some people they put the date at the left side, right? Then they will not able to grab the attention of the HR to read the most important points. Okay, so make sure you arrange something like this and also make it standardized so they know, okay, if they want to look at the date, they look at the right. If they want to look at your course, they look at the left. Okay, something like that. Okay, same goes to your working experience as well. So you need to put, okay, let's say if you did your internship, you need to put the institution name first. Okay, bold it, and then at the right side you put the time period, and then this is your position. Okay, try to make it as consistent as possible. Okay, so it looks very consistent and very clean. All right. Okay, next is okay, what should we put inside here? Okay, so if you have any work experience, everything should start with active verbs. Okay, you don't put, oh, I am responsible. Okay, don't do like that. Okay, what you can do, you find a very good active verb. For example, um, carry out, monitor, manage, design, develop, something like that. Okay, try to use active verbs so that when people read it, they know, okay, Ayu is doing this thing. Ayu is doing the task. Ayu is really doing it. If you put a passive kind of like sentence, it will not show that you're doing something. Okay, because this is a job description. We want them to know that we're doing the job. Okay, all right. Okay, so let's say if your time period have present here, meaning to say you're still working in that company, or maybe you're still doing that particular part-time job or something, then the description should be in present tense because you're still doing it. All right. But then for the other position that you already done, it should be everything. It should be in past tense. Okay, so like this work it should be completed. This one should be supported. All right. Okay, and then make sure that all the acronym that you have, for example, if you do like I what you took any training or something, usually they have like a acronym, right? Make sure you give the long form of the acronym so that whenever the HR read, they understand what you're trying to say. If you don't have for example like this, right? ICT. Okay, some people might think, okay, ICT is like information communication technology or something like that, right? Yeah, so make sure you provide the long form of the acronym that you use. All right. Okay, next, a good job description is a job description that provide quantity. So they can imagine how big is the impact that you did when you work. Okay, for example, okay, you said that increase the revenue of the company by increase the revenue of the company by posting on social media. It sounds quite normal, right? But if you put numbers, they can imagine how big the impact that you did to the company. For example, increase 30% of revenue by posting 136 content on social media. Just imagine, you can imagine, oh, 130 something. Wow, there's a lot of work. And then the 30%, let's say you're making 1,000, right? Okay, I know already. The increase in revenue is around 300, something like that. Okay, so you put try to quantify if possible. Okay, there are some job description that cannot be quantified, but if you can quantify it, you can put numbers, percentage. Go ahead. All right. Okay, next is um, should be here. Okay. Okay, next is research project. Okay, so if you're an engineer or maybe if you're in engineering, IT, those in science or maybe you business administration, usually you have a project. Okay, some of the course they don't have project. For example, like accounting, they don't have project. But then if you have any research project during your degree, go ahead, put it. Okay, why? Because this is much more related to your industry if compared to your part-time working experience. So let's say if you have a lot of research project and then you're doing part-time in Starbucks or something, of course, people want to know about your research project. Okay, because it's more related to the course that you're learning. Okay, okay, research project that also include your assignment project. Okay, don't be shy to put your assignment project. Let's say in your project you learn about artificial intelligence, right? But and you actively and heavily involved in that particular project, so go ahead, put it. Okay, and as long as you know how to goreng when during the how to describe it when you having your interview. All right. So for Farhan, he put the final year project and then the name of the project itself here, and then describe a bit what you did in the project itself, and make sure at the end of the any of the project put finding. Okay, what do you need to put the finding? What should you put at the finding? Okay, the things that you put on the finding will be the things that you learn, the things that you know by doing the research project. Okay, let's say before this you don't know. Okay, what happened if I use this particular system in this place. Or for example, right, you say like, oh, we want to, okay, the project is to find a way to reduce the electric usage of that particular area. Okay, what are the finding? Maybe what's the name of the system? What is the name of the solution? Put something like that, and then they know you're someone that uh, when you do something, you always learn, you always take the key point, and also you always um, aware that what are the things that you learn from doing that. Okay, same goes to this second project as well. You can also put something like this. Okay, try to standardize. So let's say if you put the finding at the back, then put all of them at the back like this. Okay, so it will be standardized. All right, you can also change it. Let's say if you feel like, oh, I want to put your my title up, you can also do that. But at the same time, the second research project also, make sure you put the title on top, and then the description, like the integrated design project on the second line. Okay, something like that. Okay, next is awards and achievement. Okay, actually this one, you can also put it after your education background, or maybe after your objective. If there's a condition to it, if your award is very like very good award, that when people look at it, oh, I really need to hire this person, something like that. Okay, because awards and achievement, not everyone have it. If you have it, then go ahead, promote yourself, because you need to compete with a lot of people, right? For example, if you're applying for multinational company, you're not only competing with the local graduates, you need to compete with the overseas graduate. So this kind of things, this kind of section like awards and achievement, will make you unique and stand out from the other candidates. All right. So you can list down something like this: awarded, gold, FYP industry, something like that. Okay, so they know that you're someone that when you do work, you put your heart into it, and also you always join this kind of thing to learn more and also do networking outside of the university. Okay, next is extracurricular activities. Okay, this one also you can do in two ways. Okay, if you have a very high position in a club, or maybe if you join in an international kind of like um, international kind of involvement, then it's better to just choose the top five. Okay, but then if you just a participant for all of the COCU, but then you have a lot, then go for numbers. So for example, oh, okay, for example, okay, like what Farhan did, he said, okay, I don't have much involvement in COCU, so I just want to list down. Okay, you can list down something like this. But then if you have a very good involvement, let's say if you go to Korea lah, you go to Pakistan lah, you go to UK lah, representing your university, right? You can do something like this. Yeah, let me share another one. Okay, you can do something like okay, like this. All right, so this is my previous resume that went viral when I start my LinkedIn. Okay, but then the format itself is not the best, but because of this resume, I managed to get a lot of job offer from Google, from a lot of big companies. All right, okay, so as you can see here, wait, let me open the. Okay, so this is the um, COCU part. Okay, so let's say if you have a very good involvement, all of them are international, you can put something like this. So they're able to see the description itself. For example, like this semi-final L'Oreal brainstorm. So I compete with 60 countries competing, and then the competition gives to them blah 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 and blah blah blah. Okay, so it sounds very like, oh wow, perform like that. Okay, same goes to the others one lah. Okay, so okay. Usually for competition, I would suggest people to not sharing what you do in the competition, but share what is the competition that you join. For example, like this, gold prize for International Asian Students Venture Forum, right? So you can put the description of this event: Korea's biggest international contest for sharing business startup held by Korea, Economic Daily, and sponsored by KT and G. So when people read this, you can hook their attention, and also they feel like, wow, this candidate is another level, something like that. Okay. All right. Okay, one of the trick as well that I did during my uni time is to volunteer myself to become project manager for every project that I do. Okay, this one also same as a research project. Okay, this project experience is rarely being used in the resume, so better change it to research project. So I put project manager for software, project manager, project manager, project manager. So they know that, oh, or are you really love becoming a leader? I can say that, something like that. And also gila kuasa a bit lah. Okay. All right. Okay. So, but then you learn a lot because from there itself, they know that you know the everything about the project from A to Z, because you need to lead your friend, right? You need to lead the developer, you need to lead the designer in order to deliver the project. Okay. Try to do something like this. Okay. I will give you link so you can read later. Okay, but make sure you follow Farhan's one. Okay, that the template is being designed by myself. All right, and yeah, I spent a lot in order to get this. Yeah, it looks simple, but actually it has. I did a lot of research to make sure that when people read it, their eye movement and everything is on place, you know. Okay, so make sure you follow this template. Okay, next, okay, back to the resume itself. Okay, next we have skills. Okay, okay, for skills itself, okay, usually right now I don't ask people to put this dot. Just continue, start with programming language and software. I can show you mine. I think it's better. Okay, something like this. Okay, this is your skills, and then programming, software, and then you just list down all the things that you do. Okay, make sure for skills, right? Don't ever um, list down your soft skill. Okay, soft skills include like talking, communication, leadership, because everyone can do that. Okay, and there's no it's quite hard to measure because everyone can do it. Okay, so make sure you put your hard skill, for example, like programming, any software that you know how to use, any language, and also like if you have any other skills like marketing, content creation. Okay, all the hard skill, you list down something like this. Okay, all right. Okay, one of the things that people always do is to rate their resume, right? Okay, this is what people always do. Okay, resume. Okay, you just search resume. You don't have to find it, like very easy to find sample. Okay, people always do something like this. Okay, let me try to make it big. Okay, it doesn't help. So you need to click on it. Okay, so as you can see here, right? People always do this rating, right? Actually, don't ever do that because, okay, for example, right? You have this friend. We call it contoh lah, Joyce lah. Okay, so Joyce is very good in programming, for example C, but then she has imposter syndrome. I always don't feel good about myself. But then when you join the company, you are the best actually. But then because you already read out of 5, you give you 1 star out of 5, right? And then that doesn't give a very good impression to the company itself because you already downgrade yourself. Okay. Okay. Let's say another example. I just call out anyone's name. Okay, Ibrahim. Right. So Ibrahim, I feel like, oh, I think my C++ programming skills are very good. I give myself 5 star, something like that. And then when you join the company, the other people is like, wow, even better than you, for example, right? Okay. Um, so just imagine you already like give a very high expectation to your boss, and at the same time you making yourself miserable. Okay, because you already compare yourself to other people, and also there's no uh, solid measurement to measure skills. Okay, what you can do instead of rating by using this kind of format, this kind of function, you need to put the skills inside your job description. Okay, so let's say if you doing a developer intern lah, you become developer intern. So you put there, utilize JavaScript in developing the website and manage to um, get a very good feedback from that one. For example, right? Okay, so make sure you include your skills, your hard skills in the in your job description. So when they read it, they know, okay, these particular skills, are you use it for this job? Are you use it for this time? Okay, something like that. All right. Okay, so back to Farhan's resume just now. Okay, so for language, you're able to read a bit, okay, because you already know whether you're fluent enough or not. And also, we have the measurement, solid measurement to measure language. For example, like English, whether you're fluent, whether you're a native or something, you can put it here, okay. But let's say if you're not really confident about the rating itself, better just list it down, okay. And then I always see students they list down their skills um, vertically. Okay, no need to do that because you are losing a lot of space. Okay, give more space to the other things that you see up here. Okay, okay, skills should be just listed here. All right. Okay, try to categorize your skills and then after that you list down them horizontally. Okay, you can save a lot of space. And of course, if you have skills that have a very long name, like for example, like robot operating system, to make sure you put the long form of it. Okay, not only ROS. Okay, the HR when they look at it, they don't know what is ROS stand for. Okay, make sure you put it. Okay, unless if that thing doesn't have long form, then you go ahead put here. Go ahead put the acronym only. Okay, so last but not least is your reference. Okay, make sure to provide two reference. Okay, yeah, I know it's not a must, but for me it is important to put reference because the HR no need to call you again for reference, especially the big companies, right? Usually when you join that kind of company, they will do background check on you. They will even hire a vendor from other companies to background check on you, whether you took drug before, whether you have bankruptcy, or maybe you have a criminal record or something like that. So please put your reference to validate all the things that all the information that they need from you. Okay, especially the one in your resume. Okay, so if you're a student, you can either ask your lecturer, okay, how to find a good lecturer. Find lecturer that is close to you, okay, and also or maybe your FYP supervisor. Okay, why I say the one that is close to you, because they will always say good things about you. Okay, if you put lecturer that hate you, then you not even in the company yet and then they already give you a bad review, right? So make sure to put lecturer that knows you in person and also you communicate with them well. All right, and of course you need to inform them that you're putting their name on reference and then suddenly there's a company calling them and then they say, oh, can you share about IU, and then they're like, who are you? I don't know her. So just imagine, of course, the employer will feel like, am I being scammed or what? Something like that, okay? Okay, why do you need to put two? Because let's say if one of them, they cannot call, they can call another one, okay? And also if you already did your internship, you can also put your internship supervisor. Okay, one thing that Farhan missed here is email. Okay, so make sure you put email as well. Okay, so they will send email first, and then let's say if that person doesn't reply the email, then they will call them straight away. Okay, so make it so put email, make it clickable like what you have just now, and then the phone number. Okay, all right. So enough with this. Okay, you can also read some like discussion down here because some of them are recruiters. Same goes to my previous resume as well. Okay, all right. So I want to share some trick and some tips on resume. Okay, we will cover resume until 3. Okay, all right. Okay, so when you're doing a resume, by the way, can you guys read? Is it clear? It looks not that small, right? Should I increase the size, committee? Looks good. Is it too small? Can you guys read it? Too small. Okay, let me open a bit. How about now? Is it better? Okay, cool. All right. Okay, so when you're hunting for a job, make sure you provide 3 version of resume. Okay, it's very important to know about the file format. So the first one is PDF. Okay, make sure you save your resume in PDF format. Okay, and put it in your WhatsApp, put it in your Google Drive, put it in your laptop and everything, so that whenever you have free time, you just apply for job. Okay, you don't have to like open your laptop lah or lah. And the good thing about PDF, the format remain the same. Okay, even if you put it in the if you keep it in your WhatsApp, right, you open it, it still looks like that. Okay, so whenever you send your resume to anyone, make sure you send it in PDF. Okay. um okay, be careful when sending the resume. Let's say if you send them your words, right, the bad thing about it is because that they're able to I edit and modify the file itself. Okay, maybe some of your friend, maybe they're jealous of you, or maybe they just want to prank you or something. They change your something on your CV. I don't know. Maybe there's people like that, right? So try to not share your words to word file to people, so because they can modify it and it will not give you a good. It's not a good thing to do, right? Okay, so make sure you save it in PDF. Anytime you send it, make sure it's in PDF. Okay, words. Okay, of course, you still need words, but then try to keep it to yourself, because it's easy for you to update. Okay, for your resume, even when you work also, you need to update it years by years. Okay, because once you already work like 2 3 years, right, you also gaining new experience, right? So we need to put something new in the word file. Okay. Okay, there's a reason why I always encourage people to use words, because if you use Canva, there will be a lot of design. Okay, you're prone to do a very fancy resume like what I shared when I Google resume just now. Okay, if you use words, it's very simple, and it takes you shorter time to edit or maybe add anything new. Okay, so for example, like my case just now, right? Okay, this is my CV, right? So if I use Canva, right, for example, maybe my detail is here, and then suddenly I have two column, another second column. If I want to add, I need to move a lot of stuff here and there, and it's not just writing it. You need to drag, and then you need to that one. But for this kind of format, when you go to the work experience, you can just add it here. Okay, let's say if you move company, you can just add another one. If you continue your study, you can just go here and then just add another one. Okay, it requires you very less time if compared to you're using like Canva or something like that. And um, when using words, people will be lazy to design a lot of stuff, and it's good because we need a boring and simple resume. Okay, you don't need to put a lot of fancy stuff in. Oh, I forget to cover it. Okay, make sure when you do a resume, try to use this blue color. Okay, dark blue. Okay, why you need to use dark blue? Okay, it's because some people they have color blind, right? So when they have color blind, they cannot read your title. Okay, for example, right, if the company support diversity and inclusion, we never know got people have colorblind problem, the recruiters, right? So try to use dark blue so that everyone can read your resume. That's why if you see all those famous social media, they're using blue color for their what for their logo, for their site. For example, like LinkedIn, it's blue color. Facebook is blue color. Twitter also, most of them blue color, because everyone can look at it, even if you have color blind. Okay, that's why I put this is in blue color. You can, yeah, some people they use green, yellow, maroon or something like that. You can do that, but it will not be accessible to those who have problem with their eyes. Okay, so if you want to you put color a bit, use blue. Okay, dark blue. Okay, all right. Next is right. Okay, so for Word itself, I have two usually. Okay, the strategy is to have two resume. So the first one is general, and also the next one is customized. Okay, what's the difference between general and customized? General is the one that you use to spam, meaning to say you see, oh, there's a good job opportunity out there. I want to apply for it. So you just send it. You don't have to like change it here and there and all. But then if you and then for customized, when you applying for a job, you have like top 5 companies that you really, really badly want to join. For example, right, you want to join Shell, you want to join BP, or maybe you want to join Petronas, right? Okay, so you can customize. So how you customize your resume is based on the requirement they have. Okay, so the trick is to, you can put lah, for example, I want to join software engineer. There are 2 ways to get the requirement. Petronas, okay, so you go to any of this, and then, oh, not this one, sorry, my bad. Okay, for example, job street lah, we see. All right, from here itself, it's a bit, it's quite slow. Okay, okay. For example, you want to become HSE, I don't know, HSE management and system. So try to find 10 of them and then try to see the job description. Okay, from here itself, see what kind of keyword that they use. Okay, so you list down all the keywords that they use. Let's say if you have that particular skills, or if you know how to use that, maybe you're involved in this HSE management system before, you join any competition, you join any event or something, you can put, so that when the system try to match your resume and also the job requirement from the company, you are able to get the highest mark for the matching. Okay, that is what I mean by having a customized. Oh, where is it already? That is what I mean by having a customized resume. Okay, make sure you put your job description same with them. Okay, next is ATS friendly. Okay, this is the tracking, this is the system that I shared to you just now. Okay, application tracking system is a type of software that scan resume to make sure they contain enough keyword. Okay, so if you use the ugly and also simple resume, it's good. Okay, no, not much graphic, and then it's much easier for them to, like, the system to control F and then find things on your resume that is similar to the one that they have in the requirement. Okay, make sure you have these 3. Okay, I shared the link also here. Okay, next, okay, I think this is very important. So I shared just now that you must use active verb when you're trying to describe the job experience that you have, or maybe you want to you want to explain a little bit about what you do in your research project, or maybe you can also use this in your curriculum also. Okay, so make sure you don't use like responsible for this, responsible for that. Okay, try to use this power verb: accomplish, achieve. So for leadership, usually people will use something like this. You can also find it in Google as well. So for example, you feel like, I already used manage 3 times. So what you can do, you just search manage synonym. So you see, be in charge of, run, direct, control. Okay, so make use of your Google. All right. Okay, so I will share this because sometimes we're Malay. I mean, we're Malaysian, right? Our English is like Manglish. We don't really use this kind of power verb, so we need some reference. Okay, of course, you want to make sure you put the best word in your resume, because that is like a summary of your life, and also it will, yeah, your future will be will depend on how good your resume is, right? Okay, so make sure you use the right words. Okay, so you can see approved, accelerated, and blah blah blah. So this one I get from Harvard University. Okay, so I shared here. Okay, all right. So next is so before you submit your resume, this is the list that you must go through. Okay, so this is the thing that I just covered when I was showing the Farhan's resume just now. So for example, like general information, have you used Microsoft Word or not? Okay, if you use Canva, stop your mission, abort mission. Okay, just use Microsoft Word. Okay, so if you feel like, I'm so lazy to do a template, okay, you can get my resume review. I will provide you the template. Okay, I will also help you to do resume scanning also. All right, so this one also, do not use template. Applicant tracking system have trouble reading it. Okay, next, make sure you have margin, so you give space for the eyes to read. And then the font size, whether it's okay, so you can use 10 to 12. Okay, not too big because it's not a kids book. Okay, not too small because it's not It's not a newspaper. Okay. Next is, okay, make sure you keep most of them 2 page. Okay. 1 page also can, but 2 page. Later I will share with you why you need to do 2 page. All right. Next is, have you used bold, face and italic appropriately? Okay, so you can also use italic just to differentiate. Okay, let's say if you have a lot of information, you want to differentiate some of them, but make sure you need to standardize throughout the resume. Okay, so are that clear and consistent? So just now, let's say if you doing okay, for example, let me share with you that this one, right? Okay, so if you list down, if you state your date with the full spelling of your month, make sure you consistently do that. Okay, but then if you use the format of AUG, only three alphabet, then you need to make sure you standardize using the three alphabet. Okay, don't do like this one. You put the three alphabet JUN only, and then here suddenly full spelling. Okay, make sure you don't do that. All right. Okay, we need to be very precise. Okay. Okay, are section listed in order of importance to the employee or not? Okay, some people they even list the reference after their objective. Reference is good, it's important, but if compared to your working experience, your educational background is more important. So the template that I shared to you just now, which is being used by Farhan just now, I already arranged it the best, the most efficient one for fresh graduate. Okay. Let's say if you want to put the award, do you feel like award is the most important? Okay, you can put it up here. Okay, but then if you feel like, okay, I don't want to put award because I don't have much, then you can put at the back of it like what Farhan did, or okay, something like that. Okay, so make sure you list down based on the importance of the things that you want to show. Okay, so the heading name descriptive. Okay, the headers, right? I mean the title, make sure to use the one that people always use, because you remember how the system works just now. It matches the keyword that you have and the requirement given by the company. So let's say if you use, like for example, curriculum, you don't want to use curriculum, you put like um external activities, something like that. Okay, people don't use external activities title in their resume, so make sure to avoid this kind of title. Try to use the common title, so when they do matching, it's much easier for them to identify what you're trying to say. Okay, so next is the contact information just now. Okay, make sure you use your legal name, not fancy name. Okay, let's say if you have like your name is like Fatima, but then you ask people to call you Emma, like that, right? Not don't put Emma there, put Fatima. Okay, so this one also just now. Okay, I already shared. Okay. Okay, this one as well. All right, make sure you use a professional email address. Okay, don't use like, oh, like cutecat@gmail.com. Okay, it doesn't looks professional. It doesn't sound professional. Okay, for the LinkedIn link as well, try to customize the link. Okay, so usually when you start building a LinkedIn, it will give you like how to say, the link itself is not really customized. So for my case, so let's say if I share my here, right, view profile, you can see I use Shahirah Salim. It's much easier to memorize, and also when you put on your resume, it looks pretty. Okay, so try to customize. Okay, you can Google how to customize your LinkedIn link, so it will looks nice and shorter and readable. Okay, so for education as well. Okay, make sure this one people always do it wrongly. Okay, especially from my university, they always misspell the name of the university itself. Okay, this is dangerous also, because some of the companies, right, they have like preferred university, right, and then they put the requirement, or I want student from this particular university, for example the intern, right. Some university have 3 months, some university have 8 months, some company they don't want to hire people until 3 months. That's why they just list down all the university that say, okay, we have 3 months only internship. Some even like they just want candidates that can only intern for 8 months, not for the 3 months. Okay, so make sure you spell your university correctly. Okay, for example, like Petronas, it should be all capital letter. Okay, so if you're applying for your if you're applying for a job in Malaysia, try to use your what Bahasa Melayu university name. Okay, I know that for example like UTM, right? You use University Technology Malaysia. Okay, not University Malaysia University of Technology or something like that. Okay, try to use the official name. It's okay. It's if it's in Malay. Okay, and then of course don't just put UTP. Don't just put UTM. Okay, it's very lazy to do that, right? So you just make sure that you put your the long name of your education institution. Okay, same lah. The official name of your degree. Okay, like my case, degree in information technology. Okay, it's not, you cannot simply change like, okay, before this used to be information communication technology, but then you didn't change it. In your degree certificate, it stated there information technology. So when they do background research, this is important as well. Okay, so make sure you list down the correct name of your degree. Okay, so same goes to this one also. Okay, so experience. Okay, you can read it later. Okay, extracurricular. All right. So I shared the link here. Boom. All right. Is there any? Okay. Okay. So next, I want to share about the rating just now. Terus. Okay. Okay. So this is very important. Don't ever rate your skills in your resume. Okay, I shared to you just now about this. Okay, you can read it later. Why? Okay, why you shouldn't do that. Okay, and also, this is some of the example that people always do. Okay, something like this. The language they put 5 star, 2 star. Okay, because it's graphic. Okay, the system cannot read it. Okay, so from here also you can read some discussion. Okay, there are some of them coming from recruiters background, so you can read it. All right. Did I share this link already? Okay, I think I already shared the link. Um, okay, I think I already shared. Okay, but it's okay. If you cannot find any of the posts that I shared, yeah, you let me know. Just DM me on LinkedIn. All right. So far, everything's good for resume. If it's good, then put yes. I hope everyone's still alive. Don't sleep yet. Put yes at the chat box if you're still there, if you're still with me. I see a lot of thumbs up. We have Aina, thumbs up. Okay, Irene say yes. Daha say yes. Okay, good, good, good. Okay, so let's proceed with interview. Okay. Oop, I think I did delete some.
Miss Ayu,
Yes.
sorry, before we proceed with our next session, we're going to open a platform for Q&A session
Ah,
for
okay.
this. Yeah, all right, okay, wait.
Okay, no problem.
I think Miss Ayu is very excited to share with all of you. You guys see the excitement? Take note, everyone. All right. Thank you, Miss Ayu, for that very informative and meaningful sharing session just now. I can say for all the participants that the session was very helpful and we have learned a lot on how to make an effective resume. Now let's proceed with the Q&A session. So if you still have any question, please drop the question in the comment section or you can just unmute yourself to ask the question. Okay, so okay, actually I can see already someone already asked in the group in the chat box like, do you have a question? All right, Fami has a question. Fami, what do you want to ask?
Yeah, you can unmute yourself, Ami. Don't worry, I
Yeah.
don't eat people.
Hi, my
Okay.
name is Kwame.
Yes.
I want to ask about what is the resume format or for experienced candidate that has already worked for like 10 to 15 years that might look for another job due to pandemic or what? Can you share?
Fami, can you introduce yourself? I just want to know what's your background and then what you're doing right now. Yeah.
My name is Fahmi. I'm a chemical engineer working for
Okay.
10 years. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. All right. Okay, so you're asking for what? Resume or CV just now? Sorry.
Resume for experienced candidate
All
because the
right.
things that you shared is the resume for a fresh
Mm.
graduate, is it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Mostly.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so for resume itself, for experience hire, right? Okay, usually, okay, this is CV, but I can share with you how the resume looks like for a high experience hire. So of course, you still need the objective as well. By the way, can you still see the screen? You guys can see the screen, right? Okay, and then after that, instead of putting this educational background at first, you put it after your you need to put your working experience first. Okay, so your work experience should be after your objective. Okay, but then if you have awards and recognition, you can put it that first. Okay, so work experience first and then goes to your educational background. Okay, so for work experience, okay, make sure, of course, like what I shared just now, try to quantify your resume for me, meaning to say you, let's say if you contribute anything to the companies, okay, make sure you to quantify so that people can imagine how big your impact, how big your work impact is, that your impact, okay, for example. Okay, so for me, I usually do something like this. So I explain first what I'm doing in the as UI UX designer, and then after that, at the project itself, I shared about the achievement, the things, the significant changes that I did based on the project itself. Okay, so what are the things that you do? Okay, for this one, like agility and career, for example, right? I lead the 3 interns. So they imagine there are 3 interns that I lead, for example. Okay, like this one, 33 page of prototype. So they can imagine, okay, how much work is that? If you just put prototype only, they don't know how many prototype that you do, right? Something like that. Okay, try to, and then after this work experience, you can also put something like, because you're a chemical engineer, some people they have like what license or maybe training or maybe certificate, right? You can list down in another new section to list down like okay, let's say if you have the board of engineers cert, and then you have training or something, you can just list it down there. Okay, and then for the leadership experience also, you can put something like this. So what is your position and all? Okay, for resume itself, of course the maximum should be 2 pages. Okay, you don't put as many as you want, but this is CV. You can write like my dad already worked for 40 years. Yeah, his CV already, I don't know, I think 50 pages long, because it's already like another level of job hunting. Okay, so um, try to do something like this. Okay, and then of course the skill itself same, and also make sure to put reference. Okay, actually reference can be more than two, especially if you're someone that is very high position. Okay, because they need to pay you. For example, your salary is like 50,000 per month, right? Of course they need to validate a lot of things in your resume itself. So usually for experience hire that is already working like more than 20 years, usually they will put more reference. Okay, their boss lah, their employee lah, they put a lot of them. Okay, so easy for the people, for person that want to do background check to check on you, something like that. Okay. Yeah, I hope I answer your question. But make sure to make it 2 pages only. All right, and quantify your job description for me. I hope it helps.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, welcome. If you have any question, just DM me on LinkedIn. All right. Next question. Any other question?
Are you?
Oh, who's okay? Can you introduce
Can you
yourself?
hear my can you hear my voice?
Yeah, very soft. It's
Okay,
like
I
ASMR.
I am Arina Izati, a third
Okay.
year chemical engineering student.
Mm-hmm.
Currently I'm applying for internship, but
Okay.
I don't really active in extracurricular activities, and I
Mm.
don't have the award and achievement.
Mm.
How I want to make my resume to be stand out in for the company to choose me.
Okay. All right. So let's say if you don't have much curriculum, the first thing you can cover that through your research project. Okay, of course you have assignment, right? Because I know some people, right, their CGPA is very high, like 4.0, but they're introvert, they don't do any other things, they just focus on their study, right? Okay, so what you can do is you can tell them about your research project. Okay, meaning to say, you focus on explaining about your assignment, and then what did you contribute when you do your assignment, the project itself. Okay, let's say if you have extra time, you can also try to find curriculum that you can put inside there. Okay, actually on LinkedIn itself, right, you can also get some involvement, you know. So how you do it is you go to your network here, and then after that you go to events. Oh, what did I do? So see, there's a lot of event that you can join actually that you can put on your resume. For example, like this, right? Microsoft Imaging Cup Hackathon for developing. When you join, then you already get an involvement. Okay, laughter heals, boosting happy hormones, something like this. Okay, and this thing, this kind of events, LinkedIn already filter them based on your um, what we call that filter them based on your background. Okay, so you can see here, so low code, no code, pro code, to learn, to build. So this looks beautiful in the resume for the fresh grad. Okay, so try, if you have time, you just try to join this kind of event, because it's on an online event, so you don't have to go, you just need to open your phone or maybe your laptop only, and then you can already put it in your resume. If you really don't have anything to put on your resume, let's say you said just now, right? Okay, you can also put your part-time job, even though it's not related. For example, you are a chemical engineer, but you work in KFC as a as a cashier. You can also put that, because that thing, even though it's not related, but it shows that you're someone that cannot sit quietly, and then you always grab opportunities. If they ask you, okay, why do you work in KFC? May I know what's the reason? You can say to them like, oh, I work in KFC as a cashier because I want to improve my communication skills. You know, when you become a cashier at the KFC, you need to talk to random people every single day. And at the same time, you need to also focus on the money itself, whether you calculate it correctly, whether you click on the right button or not, something like that, right? So it can become a conversational topic when you doing your interview. Okay, so I hope I answer your question, Arina. So try to involve this. Okay, the two things you need to do. The first one would be focus on your research project, or maybe you can explain a little bit about your part-time job or something if you have. And the second one, try to find curriculum while you still have time right now, right? By joining these kind of things. And also, let's say if your university have more interesting event, like for example like today, right? You can put in your resume as well if you don't have any content, right? Okay, that's how you manage to create your resume and also make it stand out a bit. All right. I hope I answer your question.
Yes, Miss Ayu. Thank you.
Welcome. All right. Next question.
We have one in the chat box.
Okay.
It's and the SK, one of our committee asked the difference between resume and CV in simple terms.
Yeah, I think I already shared just now, right? So resume, resume is the trailer. You know, trailer when you open Marvel, right? You see the trailer first. You know, the sound of movie. Yeah, that is your resume. So we need to say within that 3 second, we already know we have Thanos inside. We have Captain America inside. Something like that. Okay. So from your resume, they already know. Okay, what's your education background? No need to put everything inside there. But the CV itself, you know what happened. Thanos go find the stone and everything, and then everyone, some of them died, something like that. Okay, so the simple term of it is resume is like the trailer of the movie, CV is like the movie itself, something like that. Okay, so but then like what I said just now, if you're a fresh grad, usually you only have trailer because you don't have enough time to do the movie yet. Okay. That's the simplest term that I can think of. All right.
Yes, so true. All right, I think that would be our last question because the time is
Okay.
already it's up. Okay. All right. Okay. So that's it. Thank you so much to Miss Shahirah for spending her time on that session, and I hope you guys can gain more um new knowledge on how to make your resume better and more high quality. All right, so without further delay, let's continue with our next session, which is how to excel in job interview. So let's welcome Miss Ayu again. The floor is all yours, Miss Ayu.
All right. Okay. Sorry, I didn't know there's a gap for Q&A.
It's
Okay.
okay.
Right. Okay. All right. So let me proceed with the interview. Okay. Okay, so usually once you already have your resume, and then after that, okay, usually after resume it will be your LinkedIn, but then it's okay, we can go for interview. So uh, the first thing you need to make sure that the key point of having a successful interview is the preparation. Okay, so if you don't have enough preparation, that's when you will not be able to pass your interview stage, because let's say they ask you about, okay, what do you know about our company? You don't do enough research, then you cannot answer the question already, right? And then let's say if you late during your meeting because you play Dota or something last night, and then you forgot, oh, I have interview today, and then I overslept. See, that is also preparation, right? Same goes to like, oh, they ask you technical question, but then you haven't do your research yet. Maybe for chemical engineering, they ask you about thermodynamics or something like that, or maybe about the plant thingy or something, but then you didn't manage to have time to read back maybe your lecturer's note or something. Then that's when you um yeah, you get rejected from the from the job itself, right? Okay, so make sure when you have any interview, make sure you um prepare yourself. Okay, so let me share some of oh my god, sorry, my voice. Okay. Okay, so let me share one by one lah. Okay, interview, because interview usually is more like for practice, but of course I can only remind you what are the things that you should do, you shouldn't do, but the most important thing about interview will be the preparation. All right, the one, make sure you put it in your mind. Okay, okay. All right, next. Okay, the first thing, okay, things you should never say during the interview. Okay, the first thing is that usually this is the problem. Most of people from UTP, right? They studied chemical engineer, for example, chemical engineering, electrical engineering, but they cannot find a job in their course, and then they're applying for IT job. Okay, for example, like, oh, I'm a chemical engineer, but it's already been 3 months. I haven't get any job yet, so I decided to apply for IT. And then, yep, the student itself, the fresh graduate itself, they're too honest. So they said to them, "Oh, I'm not getting any position for my electrical engineering background, so that's why I just apply for IT position or something like that." So it doesn't show that you're really desperate for the job. You're really interested to work with the company. For sure, the the hiring manager or the recruiters will not feel like, oh, I think it's better to hire other person lah. I don't feel like this person is interested enough to work with us because we're just the second option. It's like you having your crush, right? So let's say if you love someone, but then they make you as their second option, how do you feel? It's sad, right? Same goes to when you apply for job as well. Okay, make sure you don't say that in front of the interviewer. Okay. Okay, next. Also, when you say that they're not your second option, of course, you just work for them like 2, 3 months only, and then after that you chow. Okay, I know maybe some of you already have the planning inside your head, but then no need to show to them, right? Okay, you can just keep it to yourself, and then yeah, make sure to show your passion that you really want to work with them. All right. Okay, next is never put too much focus on the money. Yeah, I know money always come first. Okay, for me myself, people always ask like, "Ayu, should I go for passion or should I go for money?" For me, always go for money because you never know, right, your passion if you don't try. And of course, if you yeah, I have passion. For example, I love doing video editing and everything, but then I feel like it's not the best thing that can pay my bills and everything, right? So I always go for the a job that pays me better. Okay, but then during the interview, you don't need to you say you don't have to, like, for example, you wanna, I really want 10,000 salary, but then you keep on mentioning it during the interview, it will turn, it will be a red flag, you know, because you just think about the money. Okay, there's a lot of things that you need to consider as well, like for example, like the benefits, the bonus and all, but then not only salary. Okay, so make sure that you also show your interest on other things like responsibility, expectation, growth. Okay, some companies, they give you free training, some companies even support your master or maybe your PhD, something like that. Okay. So next is maintain professional tone and don't ask personal question. This one also very important because sometimes we're nervous, right? And then we don't know what to what to say. We don't want to make it very awkward, so we just ask like random question, like, yeah, I think your where do you buy your clothes? Very pretty. Don't ask something like that. Okay, or maybe you suddenly ask them like, um oh, are you Malaysian? Are you foreigner? Because you look so nice. Something like that also no need to ask. Okay, just ask things that is related to the job interview. Okay, it shows that you're very professional. You know why you are there. Okay, all right. So next is never complain about your previous employer. Okay, let's say if you're applying for a new job and then maybe you hate your boss, or maybe you feel like, oh, I work in a very toxic companies. They ask me to work like 15 hours a day, and then they don't even give me um enough holidays or something like that. But then don't ever say that when you want to apply, because it gives an impression that when you want to leave that company that you're applying for, you will do the same thing. You will say like, you know, my boss always like talk bad about me, and then after that he will give me a lot of work, and then he just stay at home, something like that. Also, it's not really things that you should do, right? So usually when you want to change job, or maybe change company, focus more on the company that you want to work for. For example, why do you want to change job? Maybe you can say that, yep, I want to join your company because I believe that your company provide me better career development. For example, in terms of the salary, you pay me better. For example, second, you can also share about the location itself, right? For example, why do you want to join this? Okay, for example, like myself, I'm Sarawakian, right? So I can say like, oh, I want to work in Shell because I'm a Sarawakian. I think it's time for me to go back to my hometown already. Something like that. Okay, so you can share and focus on the second company rather than talking bad about your previous one. Okay. Next is never pitch yourself too high. Okay, for example, what is your weakness? I always work harder than necessary. Or maybe what is your weakness? I perform too well. Sometimes people cannot like keep up with me, something like that. So try to not sounds like narcissistic. So what you can do is you can share weakness that you really have, but the company itself help you to improve. Okay, for example, right? What is your weakness? You can say like, I'm quite okay. I always make decision very fast. I don't really think in depth, or maybe I don't really do research properly first. So I feel like I need to improve on that. So that this kind of like weakness, your manager can help you to improve. Okay, so we need to say, let's say if you need to do a very important decision, they will remind you. You make sure you already did your research properly. Don't just say yes to everything, something like that. Okay, you can also share like, I always say yes to everything, and then end up I burn out myself, something like that. Okay, so this the kind of thing they can help you. Okay, don't ever mention about the weakness that they cannot help you. For example, what is your weakness? I love to sleep too much. Okay, I sleep like 10 hours a day. So I need to improve. How are they going to help you with that? Or maybe you said that I'm lazy to wash my teeth or something. I'm lazy to brush my teeth. That one, they cannot help you, right? So try to find weakness that they can help you. All right. And also, let's say if they ask you like, oh, what is your strength? Okay, try to find strength that is related. Okay, that is related to the job itself. Okay, don't ever say strength that is not related. For example, what is your strength? Are you? Oh, I'm very good in getting guys, something like that. Okay, don't ever do that. Okay, even if you want to do jokes, that is not the right time to do that kind of job. Okay, you can do jokes, but something that is related to the work is still okay. Okay. All right. So what is your strength? Try to find something that they list down in their job description. Okay. So if you do your homework, you go back to the job description just now. Let's say they want to see, okay, I want someone that has a very good leadership skills. Then you can say lah, or what is your strength? I think in terms of leadership skills, I'm willing to say I'm willing to volunteer because I always believe that you can gain experience by you can the best way to get experience is to do it, right, to practice it. So by getting me as a leader in your company, yeah, I'll be able to develop my leadership skills, or for example like that, right? So you can answer something like that for your strength. Okay, try to refer back to the job description. Okay, swearing or offensive language, yeah. Okay, sometimes I have this problem as well because when we very happy, right, and then we didn't realize that we put like maybe we say shit or we say fucking or something like that, right? Okay, try to not ever use this offensive language in your interview. Okay, so for example like this, I love your company. I know it sounds like wow, this person really love my company, but it's not really appropriate. Okay, it's not the right way to do it. Okay, because okay, maybe for millennials, right, for some of the millennials kind of interviewer, they don't mind because they also curse a lot. But then especially in Malaysia, especially when your interviewer is like kind of a little bit older than you, usually they're not really they cannot accept people that curse, right? Okay, so make sure don't use this. All right, okay. So I will share this, and also you can read some of this discussion down there. All right. Okay. Right. Next is uh. Okay. So let me share this. Hmm. This is the most famous question that usually people will do. Okay, so everyone knows that people will ask you, tell me about yourself, right? So make sure before you join any interview, make sure you prepare already your script. Meaning to say, not to say like you really need to follow the script. It's just that you know the flow of it. Okay, so how you introduce yourself so that you can cover all of the points needed. Okay, so usually I will share to my clients or something is to follow acronym WAF. Okay, so WAF stand for Who, Achievement, and Fit. Okay, so WAF, first you explain lah. Okay, okay, you tell me about yourself. Okay, so you can say, hi, my name is Shahirah. I graduated from University Technology, Petronas on May 2020, doing information technology. My major is software engineering, minor is business management, something like that. And then after that, you can say a little bit about your um, achievement. So meaning to say, for example, I did my internship in ExxonMobil last few years ago. So I worked as an email engineer. Alhamdulillah, during that time, I managed to deliver a project in Iraq right now. And you can also share, I also quite active in joining competition. I joined 38 competition during my degree. And also I received some of the awards from my university. You can share something like that. Okay, so this kind of thing you need to prepare in advance before you join the interview so that you don't miss any points. Okay, and then end the question by saying something that can show that you are the one that fit the job. For example, I hope tell me about yourself, and then after that you say okay, I hope that I can get a job. I hope I can get this job. Hopefully, so that I'm able to deliver the things that. Sorry. Okay, I would say so. I think I strongly believe that my background right now really meets your job requirement. And yep, if you give me the chance, I will try my best to deliver as much as I can, or something like that. Okay, so it's like a closing kind of like speech. Okay, so usually tell me about yourself. You make it like 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, try to do a script, and then you from there itself, you try to practice before you go for the interview itself. All right. So you can also see here. All right. So use this WAF that we share here. Okay. What else we have? Okay, this one is also important. I did a TikTok for it, but it's okay. The TikTok, sorry. The TikTok itself is not important. How do I hide this? uh, okay, let me. Okay, all right. So copy link. Okay, so okay, most of the time, like right now, because of pandemic, due to the safety concern, most of the interview that we go is virtual, right? Okay, some of them maybe you have a physical one, but most of them are virtual. Okay, so I think maybe we should focus on virtual interview, all right, today. All right, so the first thing you need to do is to study the company. Okay, I mentioned just now, right? You need to make sure when you go for any interview, prepare. Prepare is the key of success for interview. Okay, so study the company. How do you study the company? First, you can stalk their website. Okay, so you just Google it. Okay, Google Petronas. So let's say let me share with you how to stock company. Okay, so first Petronas. Okay, make sure you know which Petronas that you're applying for. They have like Petronas lubricant, Petronas KLCC and all. But I just want to share, let's say, technology, right? Okay, so from here you read all the things that they have. Okay, the most important thing that you need to know is their business model. How do they make money? Okay, in the simplest term is how do they make money? Okay, you want to join, for example, like my friend, right? He got an interview in a IT in information technology company, fintech, finance technology company. Sorry, and then the interviewer asks, okay, which position that you're interested in, and then because she doesn't know about the company, she thinks that the company is just a name, and then she just say, oh, I want to work in your IT department. But actually the whole company is an IT department, right? So it doesn't look like you're doing enough research about it. So make sure you know what their business model is. So from the business model, you know what kind of roles they have, what kind of project that potentially that they're doing right now and something like that. Okay, so make sure you read all of this. All right, it's very important. Okay, next, also you can also stalk them on LinkedIn. Okay, let me show you how to stalk companies on LinkedIn. You go here. Okay, we want to stalk Petronas, so search Petronas here. Okay, so click on Petronas, and then from here itself, okay, I think I need to reduce the size so that you can see the layout. Okay, so from here you go to post. Okay, from here you can see what are the things that they're doing right now. Okay, see berlandaskan 3 teras, blah blah blah. Okay, Petronas telah berjaya membantu. Okay, because some of the question, right, they always ask about the company. Okay, maybe they ask like, okay, do you know anything that Petronas are doing right now? Or maybe do you know what are the initiative that Petronas are going for? Something like that, right? Okay, so from here you can see a lot of information related to the things that they're doing right now. Okay, that's the difference. That's the difference between having reading from website. Website is good, but it's a static kind of like information. It's just there. But then for social media, they always update it because they have social media manager that really focus on doing their social media only. So make sure you read and also follow their social media. Okay, that's how you study the company. Okay, next is follow the company and their employees on social media. Okay, you not just read it, make sure you follow so that they know your existence. Okay, okay, so this one is another trick is to let them know your existence by commenting on their social media. Okay, so this is one of the trick that one of the recruiters teach me before. So you can, okay, let's say for example, I already said, okay, you can say lah something, oh, this is very good, I feel like, no, 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 no. So you can share like this, trigger teras ini berhubung kait antara satu sama lain. So people like this Fatima, Zahira, right? If you keep consistently doing this, people in Petronas will notice you. Okay, look at, I think I remember this girl. She always comment on our posts. I think it's very good for us to hire her. She's very interested in Petronas or something like that. Okay, so you can also do something like that as well. Okay, so follow the company and their employees on social media. Okay, employees also same. Oh, okay, I forgot to share. How to follow the employees? Here, you go to people and then you can search. Okay, you can see all of these people. Okay, you can also filter out. Let's say if you're from UTM, you click here, and then you can follow your alumni. So usually alumni, they will have they will be more friendly because they know that you have similarity with them, right? Okay, and then they're happy to help people from their university. So you just need to message them and say that, hi, I studied in UTM as well. I would love to know about the position that you're doing right now. I hope you don't mind, something like that. Okay, so you can follow them on LinkedIn and then try to ask them. Okay, you can even ask them some interview tips, because each of the company, they have different kind of interview. Some, like for my unit, for my companies, we have assessment center. The other company, maybe if you join Petronas, they don't have assessment center, but they don't, maybe they have different kind of assessment or maybe coding test, right? You can ask what kind of like question that they ask and what can you expect from that session, something like that. So you can follow them and then ask them a lot of question. If they just ignore you, right, it's okay. You still have a lot of other alumni. Okay. Okay, one good thing about following alumni as well is you can get referral program. So meaning to say, if they think that you're very good, you can put their name in your application, and then once you manage to join the company, that person will able to get rewards from the company. For example, maybe they get 500 ringgit, and then at the same time, you also your name automatically going to be on top of the list if you have referral program in the company itself. Okay, so if you can get any referral, any connection in the company, it will be the best. Okay, that's how you do networking to get a job. Okay, next, list down all the common and expected question. Okay, later I will share with you some of the question that usually, some of the question that always people ask, like, what is your weakness, what is your strength, how do you see yourself in 5 years, why do you want to join the company? So this kind of question is very, very common. So make sure you list down and then try to practice it. Okay. Next is practice the question by telling your career story. Okay, so when you already list down the question, right, try to ask anyone to ask you randomly, meaning to say not in a sequence, because you never know what kind of question, right, that the interviewer will ask. Okay, so make sure when you answer the question, try to answer it in behavioral form. Okay, meaning to say you don't give internet answer. For example, like, okay, how do you deal with due date, right? Okay, so when you answer this kind of question, you need to arrange it in star behavior. Okay, later I will share how do you answer behavioral question. But then instead of sharing like generally, share your own experience. Okay, so for example, how do you meet the due date? Okay, so you shared about maybe there was a time I need to settle my assignment within this period, but then I didn't manage to finish it, and then due because I have health issue, for example. You can just share, for example, and then how do you deal with it? Maybe they also can ask about your how do you manage the team itself. So you give example. Why it's important to give example rather than answering it generally is because the HR, the interviewer, are able to imagine. Okay, they can imagine. Okay, you say you meet your lecturer, right? Then they can imagine. Okay, you go to the office and then meet the lecturer, something like that. Okay, so it's much easier for them to understand what you're trying to say. If you just blabbering and also you just sharing a general answer, they will not be able to imagine, and also they feel like this is boring. I can just get this answer from the internet. Okay. All right. Next, where is the post just now? Okay, I need to. All right, next is test your audio, video, lighting, and backdrop. Okay, the video itself, make sure you have a very good internet, and then yeah, your audio, need to say you use a very good earphone. Okay, Don't just use the speaker because sometimes it will create echo. Okay, and then the lighting itself very important. If it's too dark, make sure to maybe buy a DIY light or something, put it in front of you so that they can see your face clearly. Okay, and the backdrop itself. If you have like a very happening background, maybe your children running away, or maybe your sister, or maybe your dad shirtless at the back drinking tea reading newspaper, is not really a good background, right? And it's very distracting. Okay, so try to find a background that is plain. Okay, you can also find like any random empty wall in your house, or maybe find office in your house, just use office in the house. Okay, and then make sure that you're sitting on a proper chair, and also you have a proper table. Okay, don't do your interview on top of your bed. You put your you put your laptop on your pillow or something like that, because sometimes we never know what will happen, right? And then maybe maybe your sister suddenly pull the pillow, and then the laptop um fall down or something like that. Okay, so make sure you sit on the proper chair, and also basically make sure the setup is good. All right, internet and also the lighting. Okay, so this will help you to create a good impression and help you to stay focused during the interview. Okay, so not only it's important for the interviewer, it's important for you as well, because you don't want to get distracted, right? You already feel nervous about your future, about your interview, and then you need to also um what you don't want people to disturb you during your interview. Later you be blank. Okay, all right, so I share the link here. Okay, what else we have? Okay, so this one also important. Uh, okay. This one. Do you have any question for me? Okay, never say no immediately, okay, for any interview, because this is the time where they want to see how do you think. Okay, so let's say if you say no, meaning to say in the future when you work, right, you always say yes, and then you're very shy to ask question. Okay, and one more thing is that this shows that when you don't ask any question, meaning to say that you're not really interested in the company itself, because you're new, right? Of course, you have a lot of curiosity that you want to answer. So just ask any question, okay? But of course, make sure you don't ask personal question. You ask question that is related to the job interview. You can ask about how do you feel working in the company for a very long time already. That one is still okay. Do you think that the company have a work-life balance? Or maybe you can ask about the business model. Maybe you can ask about the initiative. Okay, for example, at my company, we want to go for net zero, right? Okay, what kind of like initiative that BP do in order to achieve that goals? Something like that. Okay, so it shows that you do your homework, and at the same time you're curious about the company itself. Okay, so make sure, see, 2 to 3 questions. Okay, this kind of question also, you can already prepare it in advance before the interview itself. If you feel like, if you're someone that have a little bit of like confidence problem, it's better to list down everything first, and then during the interview itself you already have it in mind. Okay, rather than need to find what should I ask her? What should is this the right question? We always overthinking, right? So make sure you try to find any good question even way before your interview. Okay. So additional effort. Okay. So this one is very good also, by stalking and also try to find what the CEO is doing right now. Okay. Meaning to say like, for example, you can ask about the initiative like what I said just now, and then usually the CEO will talk about the latest kind of like news, the latest kind of initiative about the companies. So when you listen to this kind of like information on the internet, or maybe you read about it, then it will give you if you it will give you you will give them an impression that you're someone that always keep up with the update of the company itself. All right, something like this. And the good thing about stalking the CEO, you also know about the jargon and the terms that they use in the company. For example, like this, right? So how he called the service users, client, customer, peers, and it will make you like you're talking in their language. All right. Okay, so this is quite important as well. Mm, okay. Mm, okay, this is quite important. Everything is important, right? But it's okay. We'll see how much we can cover today. All right. Okay, so usually, the HR will ask you like, why should we hire you, right? Okay. Make sure that you answer this question, position yourself in the middle. Okay, imagine yourself that you're not the best, but you're not the worst, and you're not the average, but you just like above average a bit, something like that. Okay, so you don't sound like you're boasting about yourself, you're flexing or something like that. Okay, so don't be extreme. Okay, don't say things like, well, I'm the best candidate for the job because something like that. So it doesn't shows that you're someone that can be controlled, because you're too alpha or you're too dominant. Okay, so try to meet okay, don't ever say also like, don't be too shy. So I don't know, I'm sure there's a lot of candidates who are better than me, I think I'm just a good person. Okay, so yeah, you don't ever answer like this. What you can do is meet in the middle. Okay, so you say that, yeah, you aware that there's a lot of other candidates that is better than you, but you know that if they give you the chance, you will try your best to exceed their expectation or something like that. Okay, saying like this. Okay, so you can refer to it. Next is, okay, this is the thing that I want to share just now. All right, so if they ask you behavioral question, what does behavioral question means? Behavioral question means how they want to understand how you react. What is your work ethic? Let's say if you need to face any situation in the company, okay, what are the things that you will do? Okay, so don't ever give them general answer, because I will not give any benefits to them to understand about yourself. Okay, everyone can answer that kind of everyone can give that kind of answer, right? So you need to remember about the star formula. Okay, so let's say, let's have, okay, for example, what happen if you cannot meet the deadline, right? Okay, so for this question, you need to know, okay, when did it happen? Okay, you share about your experience, when did it happen, and then T is the task, what specific problem that you were facing, and then what are the action, and then the result of what you're doing. Okay, this formula need to have a little bit of practice. So try to find a list of behavioral question, and then try to practice it. Okay, so for example, right, this one, so for this star, okay, so okay, let's go through one by one. The situation is, I have an artificial intelligence assignment that I feel like I cannot meet the deadline. Okay, what is the specific problem that we're facing? Cannot meet the deadline, right? Because maybe because we didn't manage to get the right coding to make the things work, for example, right? And then the action itself, maybe you need to go to the lecturers, and then maybe ask another lecturer also to get some advice, right? Okay, next is, from doing that action, what are the things that you able to from doing that action, what are the result of it? Okay, so for example, this is one of the example. I happen to face this issue during my artificial intelligence. So you already say to them, okay, when is that? Okay, and then after that, you shared what is the task that were given to you. My team and I got some error with some of the functionality of the system. In order to solve the problem, I went to meet my lecturer and explained to him what problem we were facing and gave him full details on why the deadline can't be met. Luckily, the lecturer understood the situation. Since the project was quite complicated, I managed to get 3 days extra for the deadline and the project was successfully done. Okay, so you can also use this other scenario as well. Okay, okay, maybe I can share with you another example. Um, okay, do you have any experience in becoming leaders? Something like that, right? Okay, so the first thing is when did it happen? Okay, one of the in during my university, I got the opportunity to become the president of Syntech or any other club lah. For example, Syntech, right? Okay, um, and then the task when I become the president of the club, this is the thing that I do. Okay, for example, I help my committee to organize event. I work closely with lecturers to make sure all the events are moving smoothly. And for the budget itself, we work hard to get sponsorship so we don't have to ask money from the student or something like that. Okay, so what are the action? Um, Okay, what are the action did we take to do a good job? So in order to become a good leader, so I always listen to my I always listen to my committee. What are their problems? So we will solve the problem together instead of relying on one person or something like that. Okay, so they can imagine how you work in that particular position, and then the result itself. Okay, because of that, we managed to get some award. In few years and during that time, okay, we become the best I don't know, we become the best club of the university or something like that. Okay, so that you can imagine, and also you are able to structure your wording. Okay, okay, this is important. Okay, you can also read some of this sample. Okay, okay, we still have time. Let me delete this first. This one is important, but this one will be the last one. Okay, let me open it first before I forget. Uh-huh. Uh, okay. Yeah, I found it. Okay. What happened if you don't have the answer for it? The answer for the question they asked, okay? I stumble a lot. I hope you can this one, right? Okay. So how do you answer question that you don't know? All right. You know, sometimes the recruiter, especially for technical person, right? Maybe you're a chemical engineer, they ask you about anything that is related to your field, right? And then you don't know us, and then so don't ever answer like I'm not sure about it, you know. So like then you just suddenly become awkward there, or maybe at the same time, don't ever answer like, oh, I'm not sure about it. I will do deeper research about that matter. Okay, don't say that because you will never meet that manager again, you know. Maybe that's the last time you will meet them. So what you can do is that you can give a little bit of your opinion. Maybe if it's uh, whether it's right or wrong, you can ask them after the interview itself. Because you know, when you have like, do you have any question for me? You can ask about it. I'm not sure about the answer for this particular question that you asked me just now. Do you mind sharing what is the real answer for it? Or maybe can you share with me your own opinion? Okay. Okay, so this one is more focusing on, let's say, if you don't have if you if you feel like you're blur, so you can answer like, that's a great question. Okay, usually I will, usually speaker will use this because they need time to think, right? Okay, so you can see, that's a great question. My experience is actually more related to something, and then start telling the story. So for example, they ask you to um, maybe what you need to become translator, right? So maybe they ask you like, have you translate any question, have you any translate, have you become any translator to those who go to Malaysia for medical reason, for example, like that. You don't really have that kind of experience, but then you can also say like, oh, my experience is actually really more related to helping the tourists. Yeah, I think, yeah, you can also say, I think when you, if the company requested me to follow those who need medical assistance here, yeah, I don't think I have problem with that, because I feel like I can ask some advice from my friends that work in medic. So I think they will be able to help me to at least list down some of the wording that I really need to know about the visit or something like that. Okay, you can say something like that. And then, yeah, this one also, you can also see, you can also share about, sorry. Okay, if you really don't know about the concept, definition, model, and equation, you can also mention like this. Okay, so it will give you a better impression. So meaning to say, you're very particular with what you're saying. Okay, for example, that's not a concept I'm familiar with yet, but in my opinion, so you just give your opinion. It's okay to be wrong, because this is interview. They usually interview, they don't really want you to know everything, because they know that you're human, right? Okay, but they just want to know how you react, how you answer the question, and also from there they know that they're able to imagine you in the company later. Okay, so let's say if you don't know about it, at least you give opinion. If you don't know about it, at least you do this, at least you know a little bit, rather than not knowing anything, right? Something like that. Okay, this one as well is very important also for engineers, usually, and also like accountant or mathematician. You don't bring your calculator, or maybe your calculator or or something like that, right? So what you can do, you can say, I can do calculation of the top of my head, but I think this calculation will give me the answer if I have calculator. So you can also show it on the paper, or maybe pen. Okay, let's say if you do it virtually. All right. Okay. So sometimes even if you have calculator also, you don't know how to calculate it, but at least try to give the nearest answer to the question. Okay. You can just try your best to solve the question, instead of like, oh, I don't know how to do this. Don't just give up. Try your best first, and then if you cannot give the right answer, it's okay. You already try your best. Okay. Okay. Uh, okay. Let's find one more, and then all right. Okay, since pandemic, most of the interview just now like virtual also. So this one is more detailed. I list down every single thing. Okay, like of course, professional username. Don't use your nickname. I know nickname is more fabulous, but then yeah, it's not. It's not what your parents give to you. So you need to face the reality. For example, like me, I cannot change my name to Victoria or something. My name is still Ayu Shahirah. Okay. So put your name Ayu Shahirah. Okay, I mean put your real name. Don't put Ayu Shahirah if you're not me. Okay. Next is of course find quiet place just now. Okay, so you can focus. Okay, for example, right, when I do like when I become the speaker, for example, like today, right, when people go into my when people joining the meeting, there's a sound that tick 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 like that, right? Even that thing also can make me distracted. Just imagine if you have like your sister running, maybe do some funny face in front of you. That one is even worse. So make sure to remove them, not to say remove them, to make sure they're out of the room. Okay, so they don't disturb you. And then, of course, your phone, make sure your phone need to be in silent mode. Okay, later maybe your boyfriend or your girlfriend miss you so much, they FaceTime you lah, all lah. Maybe Shopee suddenly send a notification and you get distracted already. Okay, so make sure you find a quiet place. Okay, next is to make sure your internet connection is stable, install the needed software in advance. Okay, I know that some of you use Wi-Fi, but if you really think that the interview is like very important, don't use Wi-Fi. Use LAN. Okay, like right now I'm using LAN because LAN is more stable. Even though if like suddenly the internet connection went out, you have backup. Wi-Fi will automatically connected. But if you feel like you really want to show a very good impression, use LAN. LAN is very stable. Okay, try to use LAN if possible. Okay. Okay, let's say if you live in Sarawak, maybe if you live in Sabah, you live in countryside, right? And then the internet is not good, maybe it's not really strong. Okay, you don't have any choice but because you live very far away, so first option that you can do is try to go to the city and then try to find a quiet place where you can go for the interview. Second is to let the interviewers know that you're in that kind of place. Okay, meaning to say like, I'm so sorry right now, I'm living in a countryside, my internet is not that good. I really hope that you can understand my situation. I can't, for example, right? Suddenly we have pandemic and then you cannot go to the city. So if really cannot, then you can tell them in advance so they can expect that to happen in the day of the interview itself. All right. Okay. Next is, so wear solid color. It appears more professional than the print one. I know some of you maybe Insta influencer, maybe you love, oh, I love so much. I need to wear orange because if I wear orange, I feel confident. But then this kind of color, right, it will distract people because they will not they will not focus on what you're saying. They focus on your baju. It's like, why this person wear orange during interview? Or maybe they say, hey, why the bird is flying here, or maybe because some of the baju got bird, right? So that is like not really professional. Okay, neutral color means white, black, blue, something like that. That is not really prominent. Okay, we want them to focus on what we're saying, not how we look like, right? But then of course, make sure it looks clean. Okay, let's say if you go for even for physical one, make sure you iron your clothes, make it neat and clean, but not prominent. Okay, don't use like very sexy kind of like attire or something. Okay. Okay, next is ensure comfort and make sure the screen is at your eye level. Okay, so let's say for my case, I have currently I have my webcam here. So let's say if you put like this, right? So it's not really showing a very good thing, right? Okay, so make sure you already set up your station and then your your webcam or maybe your laptop is at your eye level. Some of the laptop, right? The camera is like below there. So before the interview, set it up. Make sure that you can also people able to see your face clearly. And one of the trick as well is to put sticker at your webcam so that you will remind yourself, and also you can focus on the sticker to remind yourself to look at the camera instead of the screen, because you're talking to people, right? They want you to give them the eye, the eye looks, I mean, you want they want to see you looking at them, not looking at the screen, right? So put sticker there, and then you can write there, look at me, or maybe you can put like focus here or something like that. Okay, so you will remind yourself to look at the camera instead of the screen. Okay, next is put the device on a stable platform so the camera doesn't shake or move. That is the things that I mentioned just now. Okay, you put on your pillow, it will move. Okay, because it's very soft, right? So make sure you put it on table basically. All right, next is have professional background. Plain background or bookcase works well. Okay, let's say if you don't have any place already, you only have kitchen. Okay, maybe you can invest a bit, buy something like the background or something like that. Or maybe if you, worst case scenario, right? If your room like looks a bit there's too happening at the back, you can just find any curtain or maybe your bed sheet you can put at the back. Okay, just for a while, just to make your background looks less prominent. Okay. Next, have resume and notes for you for easy reference. Okay, already open it in your laptop so that let's say they ask you like, can you please help me to go through your resume? Of course, we will not memorize our resume, right? So that's why try to have your resume on your screen so you can read it. Okay, not read it lah. I mean, you can refer to the floor. Okay, okay. Why you need to also have uh, okay, notes is because some of usually for technical position, you need to have extra information about it, right? For example, like, or they can ask you about if you want to apply for process engineer, maybe they can ask you about the overview of things like that, right? Okay, so make sure you have notes, okay? So you don't feel nervous, and then suddenly you blur. At least you have a little bit of reference in front of you. Okay, next is smile. This help you to come and feel more pleasant. Okay, if you look slow, so serious, like want to eat, people also cannot. Okay, make sure to smile and also looks approachable. Okay, next is have a good lighting on the table. It will make your face look more clear and fresh in the studio. Meaning to say, like, if you feel like the room is too dark, you can you can improve it by putting light in front. Okay, but make sure that you don't put the light exactly in front of your face because it will make your face looks like angel like that. So put it a little bit far, but at least there's a light, extra light to show your face clearly. Okay, next is remember the interviewer's name. Okay, based on psychological research, right? If we mention other people's name, we mention people's name, there's a there's a sense of belonging. For example, you order Starbucks, right? And then suddenly, Ayu, your Frappuccino is ready. Something like that. So that's one of their marketing strategy. Okay, there's a reason why they do that because we feel like, oh, this person really knows me, something like that. Okay, we can feel like sense of belonging. Okay, so try to remember the interviewer's name. So you can say, um, let's say they ask you, okay, okay, what do you have any question for me? And then you can mention their name first. Mr. Nazrul, I would like to ask this question. Something like that. Okay, our um when our parents get mad at us, right? They will call us. Why? Because we want to grab the attention first. They want to grab our attention. Same goes to during the interview. When you call their name, they know that you're talking to them. So you say, Mr. Nazrul. They know that, okay, Ayu is talking to Mr. Nazrul right now. I need to listen. Okay. So try to remember interviewer's name. All right. Okay, and mention his name when asking the question. Okay, this is already just now I shared. Put arrow sticker at the webcam and then label it. Look when answering the question. Okay, next is have backup plan if the device suddenly doesn't go as planned. Okay, this is also important. For example, your laptop, right? If you have any extra laptop in your house, or maybe you're using PC to do your interview, then you have an extra laptop, put it very near to you. Okay, let's say if any problem with the laptop, okay, you have backup. Okay, let's say if you don't have laptop, also you can use your iPad, or maybe you can use your phone for the interview. Okay, make sure you have something to backup. Okay, usually most of the time that the things that we really need to have backup is the internet. Okay, suddenly got blackout or something like that, at least you have your mobile data to cover you. Okay, next is head and hand movement is important to show attention. So when you do your interview, right? Don't let's say if you don't have choice, you need to use your phone, right? Don't hold it. Okay, try to put it somewhere. Okay, same goes to laptop also. Don't hold your laptop. Okay, because we want to show hand movement like this. Okay, so it will make you look like you're really thinking about what you want to answer. Okay, next is don't be late. If the interview is at 10, be ready as soon as possible. Okay, same goes to the physical interview. If the interview is at 10, make sure you come. I will suggest you to come at 30 minutes because sometimes we lost, we don't know where the place is. At least we have a buffer time. Okay, so keep a notepad, calculator, water, and pen ready handy. Okay, water is important if you're doing virtual because yeah, sometimes you feel like it's very dry, right? So you can also drink if it's really needed. And also it really helps if you feel like very nervous, because if you drink water, it will calm you down a bit. Okay. Next, once you already finish the interview, of course, you can send a follow-up email after the call and then say thank you to the interviewer. All right. So can I share this as well? A lot of link today. Okay, so it's already 4:13. I want to share about LinkedIn also actually, but we can go for Q&A first. Okay. Okay. So let's say if you already, okay, I want to share this. If you still jobless, right? After you already do a lot of interview and also resume, these are the things that you can consider. Okay. So the first thing to do is to go update your resume. Maybe your resume is not really um, it's not really using the right keywords, and try to uh, get advice from career coach or something, a resume reviewer. Okay, so because sometimes we overlook our mistake, right? Okay, try to find expert to help you with that. And then of course optimize your LinkedIn. Okay, so later I will share a little bit about LinkedIn if we still have time. Okay, and then go do networking. Okay, networking is important because right now the best way to get into a company is through referral program. I know that, yeah, if you're a very bright student, yes, but then if you have a cable, it's much easier to get into it. I know not everyone have that privilege, like their dad is the CEO of the company or something, but you can also create your own cable by getting friends with the people that already in the company. Okay, and ask them for referral. Okay, next is learn new skills, especially programming. Okay, usually right now, okay, especially engineers have a backup plan also. Okay, because most of people in my university, right, they already changed their career to IT, because IT right now is like very demanding, right? Okay, there's a lot of supply of IT and also the demand there. Okay, next, apply job as many as you can and try to make it as hobby. Okay, so once you already get a job later, once you already finish your study, or maybe you want to apply job as soon as possible, try to go for numbers first. Okay, because yeah, I know some people feel like, okay, I just apply this, I will get it. But for now, it's pandemic, right? We never know what happened. At least if you got rejected by 2 to 3 companies, you still have backup and you still can wait for them. Okay, try make it as a hobby. Okay, next is practice for phone and video interviews. Okay, make sure you practice a lot until that when they ask you question, you already have the draft in your head. Okay, you don't have to like blur, or you need time to be quiet for a while and then think. Okay, of course, next is take care of your health. This is very important, okay? Because okay, COVID is one thing, okay? Or if you know it's already like you know that your neighborhood is there's a lot of case, right? Try to not go out that much, all right? Okay, and of course, exercise regularly and eat healthy, because sometimes because of this health issue, right? You need to cancel and also postpone the interview, and yeah, they might not be considering you, and also maybe you're a very good candidates, but because you're keep on coughing that time, or maybe you're not feeling well that time, it doesn't show a good impression, right? So make sure to take care of your health. All right, so whenever you have any interview, you don't have to deal with this matter. Okay, next, don't forget to pray and ask forgiveness from your parents. Okay, why? Because this kind of thing also sometimes it disturb your mind when you want to interview, right? So if you have problem with your friends, with your parents, make sure that you settle it, okay, if possible. Okay, you have problem with your girlfriend, settle that first, okay, so that you don't have to think about it later. Okay, next is, okay, of course, job hunting is hard, but remember, rezeki, kalau dah rezeki takkan ke mana. Alright, okay, I know this one is not really related to interview, but yeah, I just want to take a break from talking about interview for a while. Okay, cover a bit on other things. All right. Okay, Q&A. Back to you, MC.
All right. Okay. Thank you. All right. Now, let's get started with the Q&A session. So please drop your question in the comment section provided, or you can just unmute yourself to ask the question directly. All right. So, is there any question from the floor? You might want to ask Miss Ayu about interview
Yeah.
or
Miss Ayu,
tips.
Hi,
Hi.
you.
Hello. Can you
Uh,
introduce
I'm
yourself?
I'm Cole. I'm third year student of civil engineering.
Mm-hmm.
I have some question. May I ask?
Yep. Okay.
May I ask that for the resume, we need to tell about what type of intern job that we at the title.
Sorry again. Nicole, right? Can you repeat the question?
Uh, just now I asked for the resume. We need to tell in the title that what type of intern job that we need to be.
You mean the objective, is it?
Not the objective. For example, because I study civil engineering, right? And
Okay.
then if I intern, I can be like a contractor or consultant like that. Is it? So for the title, can I write like civil engineering for contractor like that?
You mean the title is referring to the file name or the title that you want to I mean the content of the resume.
Resume, content of resume means
Okay.
under my name.
Oh, okay, okay. So, if you okay about the resume just now, so let's say if you feel like okay, you want to put okay, you want to go for contractor position, right? So what
Mm,
you can do, you put in the objective. That's why objective is important. Okay, three sentence that is important there. First is the summary about yourself. Maybe you say like you're someone that is like sedulous, hardworking, or something like that. And then the second one is what you want to apply. Okay, so aspire to seek what to seek any position or any contractor position related to civil engineering in your organization. So if it's customized, you can also put like applying interest, okay, aspire to seek an intern position related to, I don't know what kind of like things that you want to do in maybe Gamuda, something like that, in Gamuda, because you already know the organization name, right? So make sure you put there, and then after that, the third sentence would be the okay, wait. Let me show my okay. So this one. Okay. So three. Okay. Like my case, I put two. I put four. But for you itself, one. You share about your summary about yourself, and then after that you say that what you want to apply for. So aspire to seek what? Okay, this one is just a sample. That's why I don't put. But for your case, you want to apply for internship, right? So aspire to seek internship placement position related to, and then and then you can put the organization. But if it's general, you don't need to put the name of the organization, and then make sure you put the availability. Okay. So for someone that already work, you can put 3 months notice. Someone that just fresh grad, you can put the specific date. Let's say if you don't have any date, you can also put the month that you can work. Something like that. I
oh,
answer
okay.
your
So
question, right? Okay.
yes, so that means I no need to write like civil engineering for contractor like that. I just write contractor in the objective.
Yes. Just put it like here. Okay. That's why objective is very important. People always put profile summary. For me, profile summary is not really important because at the end of the day, they will still read the things down here, right? So it's better to put objective. Okay. All right. So
Basically for the summary, is it also count as like objective also, or there are different things?
summary is more like you want to what you want to like give a little bit information about yourself is summary, right? But
Mm.
but objective is more like why you send this CV to me, like that, you know. So summary is more like okay, this is about me, but objective is more this is what I can offer to you, this is what I want, something like that to the recruiter, so they don't have to ask like, oh, why do you ask. Let's say if you send your CV to any random recruiters, right? For example, right, you send cold email, we call it. They already know, okay, are you want to apply for internship, something like that. So they already know that what is your purpose of doing that, purpose of sending your resume, something like that. Summary is different. Summary is more like talking about yourself. We don't really say that, or you don't really say about what you want to apply, and then when is your notice period, something like that. Okay. there's a difference between summary and also objective. So for me, better put objective. Okay.
Okay. Then Miss Ayu, can I ask question again?
Yeah,
Uh,
can.
for for the lights for
Uh-huh.
the that we used before, for example, C++ or others. Then if we have learned before, but now we are not really macam Malay is tak erti sudah sangat lah. So
Okay.
so can we I mean is it we need to include in our resume also, or we just no need to put inside because we not very erti sudah.
Okay, understand. Okay, good question. So usually if you have any skills that you used before, it's okay, just list it down because you just remember, right? You're a student, you have this kind of like survival mode, you know? So when you work later, right? Even if you don't have that skills, you will force yourself to learn that skills. All right? Okay, so just put it there. Don't worry. Okay? Same goes like how you do your assignment, right? You don't have the skills before, but when your lecturer force you to study, okay, you need to learn about C++. Even though you don't want, you still need to do that because or else later your result will be affected, right? Same goes like when you work, you have the survival mode. So any task that they give you, you will be able to deliver it. It should be fine. So just list it down, and then yeah, make sure to include your C++ in the job in the description of the research project that you do. Okay, so they know that okay, Nicole is using this for this particular project, the C++ thingy, something like that. Okay.
And then for the awards, can we put our secondary school awards if we how to say in the university we don't have many awards, so can we put our secondary awards?
Okay. Okay. For secondary school achievement, remove it completely because it's not relevant anymore. Okay. For the award and recognition, it's just a extra point. If you don't have it, it's okay. Okay. You can focus on other things like research project. You can also focus on extracurriculum because it's already very far away from the time that you apply now. You know. So for example, like my case. I used to be good in mathematics. I joined Olympiad, but right now I don't practice mathematics anymore. And also, um, it doesn't really add any additional value to the employers to know that I'm joining Olympiad or something like that during my high school. Okay, focus more on your degree, and then if you don't have maybe you lack of for example, right, you lack of award or something, you can focus on other section, research project, or maybe you take any certificate or something like that. Okay, more
uh,
letters lah.
for the research project, for example, some of the lecturer give us like is are you know what is the test study?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then also some is like assignment, and then the lecturer give just like a question, and then not like a title like that. It's a question. So if like that, we put in our resume. So how we name it like a title? Yeah.
Okay, so let's say if you get a case study, it's okay. You can just put there the name of the course. For example, right? For me, I have okay. Easy word is like artificial intelligence. Okay, they don't have any particular project or something. You can put artificial intelligence project. So you can share what you're doing. Okay, the case study is what. So you can put lah assigned by the lecturer to solve what problem, and then what are the finding? What do you learn from doing that case study? Something like that also can, Nicole.
Oh, so that's mean I can put the subject name first, and then after that the description I can write the question like that. Is it?
You can put like the findings and also what you do. Okay, make sure you get involved into that particular project. I mean subject lah. Okay, you know really well about the case study and all. Okay. Okay. Any other
Uh,
question, Nicole?
sorry, Miss Ayu, I still have question.
Okay. Okay. Go. Go. Go.
Uh,
No worries.
for the interview,
Hmm.
if we need to require the accommodation, we need to after the company accept us, and then we ask about the accommodation, or we need to ask about the accommodation before we send the resume, or when we send the resume to them.
Oh, anything that is related to accommodation, how to get there, you ask during it's either you ask you know there's a section that you do you have any question for me? You can ask there, but don't do that at the first stage of applying for the job, because if like that, you already give them extra things that they need to think about you. We need to say like, oh, this person is in Johor. I need to think about the accommodation for her. So it doesn't really give a good impression. So better ask if you really need to ask that kind of question, ask them after you get the offer letter. Okay? Because you haven't get your offer letter yet, why you need to think about your where you want to stay, right? Yeah. So try to get the offer letter first. Once you get the offer letter, and then you ask, okay, where should I? Do you have any suggestion where should I stay? Maybe to save money or something like that. Okay, so it's better to do like that. Or if you feel like you don't want to ask, also you can just Google, right? Okay, because you know already where is the what is the name of the company, and then you can see, okay, this is the office. If you feel like the office is too far from your house, maybe you live in Johor and then the company is in KL, you need to take care of your mom or something, you cannot go to work in KL. It's okay, you can ask them during the interview, or maybe ask them after the offer letter. Ask them whether you're able to work from home or something like that for some of the job. But if you feel like you really cannot commit to work in KL, it's better to just apply job that is in Johor, for example, just to avoid this kind of problem. Okay. Got other question, Nicole?
Yes.
Okay, can. I like
Because
question.
because uh I'm thinking about for the for like some company, we need to ask them is it this company have accept intern student or not. So I want to ask is it we need to call or email before we send the resume, or we directly send the resume to the company, and then we type in the email just like that, the
You
question.
can you can do both actually, but the best way will be asking them permission first so that they will not ignore your resume. They will not ignore your resume. You know, like in company, right? Usually, if we receive any external email, it will give you a warning like this is from external. Okay, so let's say if that person their work is really to look at other people's resume, it's okay. But then if that person is suddenly feel like why do I need to read this, right? So it's better to give them uh, a heads up first, or to the maybe you can DM them on LinkedIn. You can say like, hi, I'm Nicole. I'm looking for a opportunity in your company. I'm looking for internship position, something like that, right? Do you mind if I can share you my resume? If they say that, okay, go ahead. This is my email, or maybe you can just send in the chat of the LinkedIn also can. Okay. If you want to do the cold email, meaning to say you suddenly send also, let's say if you already try to contact them but they don't reply you, it's okay. You can just send them the cold email also can. Cold email means that person don't know that you want to apply for that job, right? So you just send, because everyone need to remember this job, applying for a job is free. Okay, so let's say if you have two things that you're still thinking in your head, right? Should I do this, should I do that? If you can do both, go ahead, do both. Because it's free. You don't There's no cost of applying for a job, right? For example, the email, there's no cost of doing that. Okay, so just send the email. Okay, but the best way, of course, there's a best way to do everything, right? So the best way to do is to give a heads up to that person so that they not then they're aware that you're sending them email.
Okay.
Mhm. Any question again, Nicole? I think I just learned a lot from your question.
Um, for me, I want to ask, is there any example question when interview at a
Oh,
company?
yeah, I forgot to share that.
And then for the resume,
Mm-hmm.
because I have seen before some people they put their list course, how to say, they put their course what they learn the course.
Okay, I understand.
So I want to ask, is it we need to include the course that we learned before in the resume?
Okay, so for that question, right? Usually I will not suggest you to do that. Instead of doing that, you can just put your academic description, academic transcript in the PDF that you send it. Okay, so usually if you want to send email, try to compile in a one PDF so easy for them to refer. So the first one will be your cover letter, and then your resume, and then after that you can put at the back of it your academic transcript. So from there itself, they can see the cost of your the course that you took and also the result that you get from your university. Okay, why I don't recommend you to list down it in the resume. First, you only have 2-page resume, right? It's not the most important thing that they want to know, and everyone can just list it down. Okay, that's not, it will not make you different from the other people that take that course, right? Yeah, and better save that space for other things that is more important. Okay, so putting academic transcript is already good enough. They can see your performance. There. Okay. Next question. Yeah, I can't find the question. Nicole, do you have any question? Other question?
So far, no already.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about others? Okay. Is there any questions from others?
Okay, so Nicole mentioned just now you want to find question that people always ask, right? Okay, so what you can do is you go to me here, and then after that you go to setting and privacy, and then you go to data privacy here. Okay, data privacy here. Okay, this is like a trick and hacks in your LinkedIn lah, actually. All right, so you can search this. Wait, no. Okay, you click at the job seeking preference, and then you can click on the job application set. No, not this one. Um, okay, manage job alert. There's a 2 entry point, so it's either you can go here, or maybe you can just click on your. Wait, oh my god. Okay, sorry, I'm a bit blur just now. Okay, so you can go to this job. Okay, basically just click on the job lah. Okay, and then after that you can see here. You can go for interview prep. Okay, this is some of the question that you can practice. Okay, so this one, if you use their question, their answer, right, you need to pay, right, for LinkedIn Premium. But the trick is to get this question, and then after that, you go Google and then you search the answer, so you can get some samples of the answer already. Okay. So again, there's 2 entry points just now. So from here also can, but yeah. So you click on the job here, job, and then you can see here also. Okay, interview prep. There's a lot of question that you can try to that one. Okay, another one will be okay, document. Okay, I think this is important also. Okay, you can, okay, this is cover letter, so you can just copy mine and then just change it based on your information. Okay, I'm spoon feed everyone today. Okay, so this is the compilation of some of the question also. You can read and you can try click on the link. Okay, let me share this. Okay, you better copy paste all this link later when you want to apply for job, easy. Okay, so this is also quite interesting as well. So this is a list given by my university. Okay, so you can see a list of all the companies. For example, you want to join Petronas, right? Petronas, not only Petronas. Petronas have a lot of branches. You cannot just say, oh, I want to apply to work in Petronas. You need to be specific a bit. You want to work where? Petronas Dagangan, Petronas Lubricant. Okay, so from here you can see all of this, and also their what we call that their industry. Okay, oil and gas, manufacturing. Okay, so from this list itself, I would suggest you to have another Excel, and then try to from that Excel itself, try to break down this list to make it like 10 to 20, and then from there itself you can track your job hunting already. Okay. Okay, what else? Okay, this is book, career book, that I feel like is very helpful. There's a lot of things that you can read inside here. Okay, there's a question also, and then some resume reference. Okay, okay, this is my resume just now I already shared. Okay, so Nicole, if you want to look at the list of the question, you can also find it here. Okay, we did give the link. Okay, are you sure?
Um,
No question again?
are you just now suddenly I think one question for
Okay.
because now I still studying in university, right? So
Mhm.
I'm third year. Then I need to intern. So for the CGPA, because just now Miss Ayu recommend us to include. So for the CGPA, we need to put the letters lah. Is it?
Okay, so if you're still studying, you need to put two of them, CGPA and GPA. GPA is the current one, CGPA is the overall one. So put both, okay? If you haven't finished studying yet, okay? Put something like that so they know that maybe before this, your uh, okay, let's say if your CGPA is not doing good, maybe before this you play around and then suddenly you feel like, okay, I need to focus on my future already, and then you get maybe 3.9 suddenly, and then before this your CGPA is like 2 point something, just put GPA, no need to put CGPA. Okay, put the highest one. But if both of them are quite good, then put CGPA and also GPA, so they know this is the current performance, this is the overall performance of your degree, something like that.
If for the like previous and foundation students, so if
Mhm.
I if I want to include my previous study, I mean the foundation, so I
Yeah.
need to put the last
Yeah,
the
you
final
can, because you're
semester.
still studying, right? Yeah, go ahead.
Mm,
Just put CGPA lah better, because you already finished study, you already get the CGPA, the whole of the course, right? So just put
yes, yes.
CGPA. But for the
So
current one, try to put the GPA as well.
so put the final semester CGPA for the foundation, is it?
Mm. No, put the put the final semester CGPA. Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Okay, welcome. Anyone got other question? We still have time, right?
I also have time.
Yeah. Come on, just ask any question. Don't worry. You want to ask about LinkedIn also can. You want to ask about anything else also can. Don't worry. I don't eat people. Mm.
Miss Ayu, I guess if there's no question from the floor, I want to ask something.
Yeah, sure.
I'm just curious. Okay, my name is Alice Malin. I'm first year biomedical engineering, but this is just for future purpose.
Okay.
So in case I want to negotiate the salary, that
Mm-hmm.
maybe like when they ask like what is my expectation, and when I give my expectation, I just want to know like, is there tips like for me not to sound so demanding or something like that?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, my LinkedIn is like what uh
Source of everything.
dictionary, stores of everything, because I post every day, right? So like,
Maybe one
yeah,
day you can make a book out of it, or so publish something out of
yes.
it.
Okay. Um, Okay, so this is the things. Okay, of course, when it comes to salary, right, it's better to do market research first. Okay, you go ask your lecturers, or maybe you go ask your alumni, or maybe friends that already work in that company. Okay, because they already have the expected salary. For example, maybe for oil and gas company, usually the starting is around 5 to 6K. 4 to 6K. Some companies they start from 3K. So when you go for the interview, you already know, okay, this is the salary that I want to go for. Okay, but then for experience hire is a little bit different, because you can negotiate your salary, right? Usually for fresh grad, it's hard to negotiate a bit, unless if you go for small companies, they can still they can still negotiate. But then for big companies, they already have like particular budget for each of the job. Okay, but for experience hire, usually if you really want to negotiate, try to not be the first person that say the number. Okay, so when they say like, okay, what is your salary expectation, and then you can ask them again. Okay, um, may I know what is your budget for the role itself? Okay, so from there itself, you can already imagine, okay, how much they can pay you. For example, they said, oh, we can only pay you around 3,000. Okay, then you can say that if you're happy, you can say, oh, okay, that's good enough for me. Or maybe if you feel like it's too low for you, is it possible if you can give me extra 500? Then you can give them some reason why you need that extra 500. Or maybe if you feel like okay, I want to go for 6,000. I don't think 3,000 is enough for me. I want to get around 5,000. Then you need to you need to state there all the list of reason why you want to have that amount of money, that amount of salary. But if they still keep on playing around, for example, like, okay, may I know your expected salary? And then you ask them, what is your budget, or maybe do you have any range in mind to the from them? Then you need to sorry. Okay, let me rearrange my word. Okay, so first they ask you what is your salary expectation, and then you say, do you have any range in mind, or maybe do you have any budget? Okay, they don't want to say to you. Maybe they said like, oh, um, can you give a number to us, or something like that? Then you can try to mention them the salary, but try to be realistic a bit. Okay, that's why you need to do market research. Okay, because anything that they pay, then you need to give return. You need to give them something in return, right? Okay, so make sure that the things that you do, the return is worth they are paying you that money. You know, for example, right? You want to work in Starbucks. Okay, the salary is like two, maybe around 1,000 plus. And then you apply, you asking them, can you give me 3,000? And then of course they say, what are the values that you can give to the companies, right? Then make sure to sell yourself, like let them know what is your worth. Okay, something like that. Can I share this link? So many link.
Okay, it's okay. They can copy and paste later on.
Yes. Okay. Any other question?
Hello. My name is
Oh,
Muhammad
okay.
Hakim.
Hi, Hakim.
I'm
Salam.
from School of Civil Engineering. So
Okay.
I'm an international student. So my question is that what we are going to come in some told higher
Um.
education. So apart from the review and is there any expectation that can be regarding the international students?
Yeah, I think your internet is not that stable. Can you repeat the yeah, or maybe you can write at the chat box.
Excuse
So
me.
can you yeah, are you there,
Can you hear me right now
Hakim?
clear? So,
Yeah, now it's clear.
yes.
Now it's clear.
Can you hear me right? Okay, my question is,
Now it's
let me make it in short. For I'm international student, still lagging.
yeah. You suddenly missing your voice suddenly missing. How about if you write in the chat box? We give you time. Okay. So easy
Uh,
for me to read also.
uh,
Okay. Hope you can put in the chat box. Okay. All right. Okay. So while waiting for
can
Hakim
you hear
to,
me now?
it's still stuck. It's like yeah, it's still stuck, lagging. It's still lagging from my side. I'm not sure. Is it from only from my side or everyone also cannot
Yeah, from my side
hear?
also, it's
Cannot,
not
right?
clear. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think you need to type in the chat
Yeah.
box.
Type in the chat box, Hakim. Yeah. I just remember you said you're international student, and then after that, I can't catch anything else. And a civil engineering. Okay. Yeah, you just type at the chat box. Okay, thank you, Hakim. Okay. While waiting for Hakim, anyone have other question? I thought we will get back to you, Hakim. Anyone? Don't be shy. Engineering student usually very shy, and then after that, later, after we finish the talk, they will DM me a lot of questions. Yeah, don't be shy. Anything you can ask about career growth. You can ask about time management or something like that. Also, career development. Anyone have question? Come on, we still have time.
Can I ask like
Yeah, can, no worries.
alright, okay. I'm just curious. Okay. Alright. Aside from when in during the interview, aside
Mhm.
from something like accommodation, what is like our right, something that we necessary to ask to that interviewer, something that we should know, but maybe for some students, because we don't have any experience, but only once we sit there and then after that words we thought only, why didn't I ask this before? Like, so is there any thing that we need to know when we should ask the interviewer?
Okay, good question. So usually if okay, some of the things that you can ask is also about benefits. What are the benefits? Is it they do they cover medical stuff? And then is there any extra benefit? For example, maybe they have like flexi benefit for dental, teeth and something like that. And then for the ladies, right, you can also ask about the maternity. Okay, because it's very important. I know we still some of us even single right now. We haven't get married yet, but it really costs you a lot. Okay, getting pregnant is not expensive, but to deliver the baby, like Caesar, if you go for normal delivery or you in a private hospital, it will cost you around 8,000 ringgit. So it would be nice if the company can cover for that at least, right? So you can ask about that, and then you can also ask about the time, the working time. Some people they cannot work extra than the office hour. Some people they prefer working at night. They prefer working shift. So you need to ask them so that you know, okay, this is what I can expect. Because some companies they say, oh, we have a very good work-life balance, and then end up you have a night meeting or something. Okay, some people have other responsibilities, right? Maybe you need to take care of your mom, or maybe you need to go for class. Let's say if you like me, I'm doing PhD also at the same time working, right? So these kind of things you can also ask about it. Okay, we have question. Okay, okay, Hakim haven't. Okay, Hakim already, right? Okay, we answer Hakim question first. Some companies tell me that they don't hire international student during internship. So my question is, apart from that, is there any specific companies looking for international students? Also, what can make them favorable to hire? Okay. All right. First thing for international student to do is to go hunt your career office. That is the best thing to do, and your lecturer as well. Okay, why career office? Because they're the one who asked you to do internship, right? So of course they have plan for you. Let's say if you don't manage to get any of the internship placement, of course they will have backup. So for UTP, let's say if you cannot get anything, you can do research in UTP in university, and also you can also go for UTP research itself. Okay. Lecturer knows a lot of connection that can give you internship, especially for the international, because I think most of the you also have like international lecturer, right? So when they do research, they get connected with these industry people, so they can ask for you. Okay. One thing is also you can also try to find internship on LinkedIn. Usually people that post on LinkedIn is more like they don't mind if you're international also, because when they post on LinkedIn, what do they expect, right? Of course, there will be international student applying for it, right? So what you can do, you search here, internship, okay, enter, and then click on job, okay. Oh, but internship, there's a lot lah. For example, you want to go for civil engineering. Sorry, I'm supposed to, for example, civil engineer. Okay, so you put here experience level internship. Okay, so you can see here, okay, people that asking for that one for interns. Okay, usually this multinational company, they don't mind taking interns from international. And then you can also search any particular company, and let's say if you still cannot get, also you can go for easy apply. Okay, what's the difference between applying like the normal one and also easy apply? So if you apply under easy apply mode, meaning to say you will skip one step, which is they don't send your resume into the system. They will directly send your resume to the HR itself. So your resume will not be filtered by that one by the system. Okay, so it's much higher possibility for you to get job. And also usually companies that put their job advertisement in easy apply, they desperately need that person. So both of you desperate, right? So it's much easier to get matched rather than they are the one who you are the one who desperate for them. You know, it's like love life also. If both of us, both of you desperate, okay, it's much easier to become couple. If only one-sided love, then it's much you need to work hard to get their heart, right? So same goes to the job application too. Okay. Okay. So three things just now, Hakim. Career office, your university career office. Second, your lecturers, and also LinkedIn. Okay. It's very good place to apply for a job. Okay. Next question. Nicole, right? This is Nicole, right? Yeah, your name is different here. If want to share you our resume for getting your recommendation, how can we contact you? Oh, I don't give recommendation because I'm not a recruiters. You give me if you give me your resume, I can do resume review for you, but it will not be free. Yeah, but recommendation wise, no, because I don't know you in person, right? So let's say if I say, oh, this person very good, and then end up you're not doing well, and then yeah, my name will be bad as well, right? So yeah, so better find someone that knows you in person. So and also let's say if I want to fake it, also it will not sounds that good, right? So better just that one, unless if you think like, oh, you want to join BP, maybe I can give you a little bit of guide to join my company. Okay? Mm. Okay, welcome Hakim. I hope I answered your question, Nicole. Any other last question? Okay, what?
Um, okay, we're going to open for the last question
Yeah,
soon
yeah,
because
yeah.
the time is already.
3 hours. Wow. Okay. Who are some suitable people to give recommendation? Who is this A21EE? This one is like metric ID. Can you introduce
Yeah, it's a
yourself?
matter ID. A21EE0300. Please introduce yourself. Miss I want to know your name.
Yeah, come
Your
on.
name at least. Yeah, your name at least and your background a bit. Like from which course. So Miss you can give a good example lah.
Yeah, good example.
Mm-mm.
Or maybe he's shy. Okay, first year
Very shy.
student studying engineering. Which engineering? There's a lot of engineering. Chemical. Oh, mechatronics. Wow. Okay. Transformer gang. No, kidding. All right. Okay. So, who to give recommendation? So, first is your lecturer. For a student, it's better to find lecturer. Find the lecturer that really close to you because they know you in person. Second, your FYP supervisor. If let's say if you cannot find these two also, you can also find lecturer that teach you before. And let's say if you did your internship, you can also put people from your 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 what intern supervisor. But if you have like uh, the recommendation coming from that one from someone that is high. For example, you suddenly got okay, you work with Tun Mahathir before, and then you feel like okay, Tun Mahathir don't mind you putting him as your recommendation. Go ahead, put it. Yeah, that will give you extra point, you know. And also one of the tips also when you do internship, make sure before you finish your internship, try to get recommendation letter from the companies. This is important so that when you apply for a job, not only from the same company, when you apply for a job, people will see, oh, IU is being authorized, IU is being recognized by this person. For example, right, you work with our, okay, you work with the okay, Datin Vivi Yusuf, for example. Wow. Okay, so or maybe you work with Nia Lofa before, and then you get them to be, you have their recommendation letter and you have their signature there. Then when you apply for a job, it will give you extra point compared to the other candidates, something like that. The higher, the better. Unless if you work in your dad's company and then your dad is CEO, you can put your dad there also. Yeah. All right. What is that? Any oh, more question. Okay, good, good, good. I'm Arina Izati. As you said, you can give resume review. How can we can contact you? Okay, you can just DM me on LinkedIn. All right. So yeah, I will. Yeah, I will. Yeah, I will reply it. Okay, no worries. any lecturer of our faculty that teaches before can check our resume. Yeah, you can check. You can ask your lecturer to check also. But yeah, sometimes lecturer is not really the one that really do that. Okay, like for my if you approach any career coach, for example, like for me myself, I already did around 3,000 resume review within these 2 years. So every day I will look at other people's resume, and then I already noticed, okay, what are the things that I should look for? Maybe grammar error, and then the because I work as a UI UX designer as well, so user interface and user experience. Okay, maybe people don't know what that stands for. So user experience means I learn how how website works. So let's say you want to put button where you want to put. So I implement that. I implement that knowledge to resume. So that's why I really encourage you guys to use the template that I built for Farhan just now. Okay, because that is the best template ever that I think that the other template also you can use, but then one is the best one. And just to let you know, my PhD research is text classification. I want to improve application tracking system of text classification. So meaning to say, like, let's say if you're applying for a job, right? And then you already put your description, but your description is not really matching because you don't use the right keyword. But let's say if the keyword that you use have similar meaning, then why not we consider this person, right? So my PhD is basically doing that. So I'm doing machine learning for text classification so that more people can get a job in the future. So I'm very passionate about this thing. Yeah, as you can see. Yeah. So yeah, I think yeah, back to the question just now. I also don't know why I said that. Okay, you can also ask your lecturer to look at your resume. But the best person to ask for advice would be people that really do resume coaching. Okay, and then my trick also for resume, um, if you want to find any resume reviewer, if you want to go for any resume review, try to look at that person's background also. Okay, you don't want to find someone that you want to go for the resume review, but themselves also unemployed. So find someone that already get the things that you want, and then maybe for example you can go for Mr. Insaq Karim. You can also go for Patrick Tan. I know you can also go for my friend also Chempaka. So all of these people they really work in the industry, so they know what are the things that we should expect in the resume. We should include in the resume, something like that. Okay. Okay, already 5. Okay, let's take a picture.
Thank
Sorry.
you. Thanks, Miss Ayu, for your insight into this most important topic that I know affect all of us here, and for answering the questions from our audiences just now. All right, so I hope everyone can remember all the points, key points on how to answer the interview, how to tackle hard questions using STAR and everything. Okay. All right, so before we end our event, I would like to request all the committee members and the participants that feel free to switch on your camera and for a photography session. So fast, come. Everyone, open your camera. We're going to take the picture. So whoever free, okay. 1 minute for everyone to get ready.
Yeah, this is the faces of future leaders.
Yes.
Yeah, engineers, huh? Most of them, or all of you are engineers, is it?
Yeah, I think most of us is engineering
Engineers.
student.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, you guys
Okay.
based in Johor.
Yep. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I can still see some people trying to open up the camera. Wait on. Okay, come guys, come. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. MC also don't eat people. Yeah. So come. Join. Okay. All right. I think I can start to take picture now. Okay, because the time is already 5:02 and I know you guys are already tired. Okay. All right. On my count, 1, 2, 3, smile. All right. 1, 2, 3, smile. All right. Last but not least, freestyle. Wait, 1, 2, 3, smile. All right. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
All right. And with that, we have finally reached the end of the event. Thank you so much to Miss Ayu for spending your time with us. I know you seem so excited. Me also excited listening to all your uh, information. All right, thank you to all participants that taking the time out of your busy schedules to join us today. Your attendance really means the world to us, and I hope all of you have enjoyed this session. On behalf of the committee, we would like to apologize if there was any inconvenience that occurred throughout the program. Do follow our Facebook and Instagram page to get the latest update. And please do not forget to scan the QR code or fill in the attendance link provided in the chat box later. I am Elise Malin signing off. Hope to see all of you again in the next event. Thank you. Assalamualaikum and stay safe.
Okay, bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you, Miss Ayu. Bye
Okay,
bye. Bye
bye.
bye, everyone, to Miss Ayu.
Happy weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye bye, Miss Ayu. Thank you so much.
Okay, bye.